The Meeples Miniatures podcast is sponsored by Two Fat Lardies and also by the generous donations of you, the listener. A huge thank you goes to Nicholas Hawkins, Glenn Oberhauser, Tobias Whiting, David Jakowsin, Marcus Wheeler, Alex McIntosh, Daniel Schmidt, and Daniel Schmidt. Guys, thank you so much for your generous support. Hi and welcome to episode 170 of the Meeples and Miniatures podcast. I'm Neil Shuck and I'm joined by Dave Luff. Hi Dave.
Hello Neil.
So, and it's a live Meeples report from Salute. Here we are.
The UK's biggest attempt of emptying your wallet is well underway now.
Indeed. We just kind of stumbled in the door and we're just having a quick look around and deciding where to go first. But hopefully we'll get a load of stuff during the day, lots of news and interviews for you to enjoy. So stay with us and more coming up very shortly. Anything you're looking forward to today?
Not spending money.
Hang on, you come to Salute and you're expecting not to spend any money?
I managed it last year.
Right.
But then I'm a freak within the hobby, aren't I?
Okay, so I'll report back during the day on how Dave is doing at not spending money. We're here with Adam and Ian from Arcworlde. Guys, you want to tell us all about Arcworlde and what it is, please?
Certainly, yes. So Arcworlde's a 32mm skirmish game. Been out 2 or 3 years now, so there's a massive back catalogue of miniatures and monsters to choose from. But today we're actually demoing a recent Kickstarter that we've got for sale today called Battle for Troll Bridge.
Oh, right, okay.
We wanted something to get new players into the game, so it's a box set.
Yeah.
It's got 4 factions in there.
Yeah.
So 4 mates can club together. But it comes with a troll and some orcs and goblins, and they can team up together.
Yeah.
And the humans and halflings are quite happy to team up together. So 2 mates could buy in. I think what stands out about Arcworlde for me, because I'm a volunteer, I'm a demo guy, is monsters.
Yeah.
You can quite happily play as a dragon, and halflings, little halflings can take on a dragon.
Yeah.
If I've got 1 miniature and you've got 10, how does that work? Well, the dragons have something called split activation. So a dragon has 10 action points, where a little halfling only has 2.
Okay.
So halfling might move. I've used 2 of my action points to walk a bit closer to the dragon. The dragon says, right, well, I'm going to use 2 action points to walk closer to you, but then I'm going to split back to you. Halflings move. The dragon's like, nice, you're close now. I'm going to breathe fire for 4 action points. And then I'm going to split again. I've still got 4 action points left, back to you. So you still get that back and forth.
Okay.
A really nice sense of humour in this game as well.
Yeah.
It can be competitive. I love that competitive side, but there's things like each of the larger beasts have something called gobble, so it's a risky business. They can use all their action points and try and eat something, and you've got to roll to see what happens. I think on a 1 or a 2 you actually get damaged because they're like trying to stab you back. I don't want to be eaten.
I had a game where a giant gobbled a uniform, spat it back up because he didn't like it because it was fawny.
Yeah.
Caused him a wound. Took him below, 3 wounds. Up jumps a wild elf and goes, have 4 wounds. Your giant's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right.
it's risky business. But if you do manage to swallow him, he's down there. And I invented this rule. I'm quite proud of it. When I first started playing, I said, please give us the opportunity to cut our guys out if we kill that monster.
Yeah.
So if you can kill the monster before it activates again, you can roll to see if you can cut your friends out.
Yeah.
I think on a roll of 1 to 2, though, it's called carrots everywhere. He's nowhere to be seen. He's been digested. I think on a 3 to 4 he's okay, but has lost a couple of wounds.
Yeah.
And then a 5 or 6 he just smells. And then magic is one of the most exciting things in this game. You use a deck of cards,
Yeah.
and each wizard has a series of spells from 14 to 25 cost. So as a wizard, you say, well, I want to cast now my spell that costs 18. So you flip over 2 cards and see what you get. Let's say I get a 10 and a 4. I haven't made enough, 14. I can't cast that spell, but you can keep flipping. There's a risk associated with this. If you go above 21, it's called overpower, and there are consequences. You can still cast your spell, but there may be consequences, like the gremlins. Their shaman, his head explodes.
Oh, right, okay.
And the human wizard, he gets struck by lightning, and anyone wearing armour around him might get injured as well. So there are risks to the magic.
So what sort of board size is the game played on?
We recommend 3x3, but as your army grows, I would probably recommend 4x4, especially if you're using dragons and giants and things like that.
What sort of size actions are we talking about? As in how big of many figures would you end up on the table?
I think
Sort
to
of
begin
maximum
with,
and minimum sort of thing.
well, there's no maximum really. I think as a community, no one's turned around and said, I've got too many miniatures to
starts
play with.
bogging down.
I think.
I was just wondering if you've got 100 figures on the
Well,
table.
I think
it's gonna start gonna be a bit...
time consuming.
Yeah.
It's a skirmish game essentially.
But it is doable with a lot more, and throwing in a dragon and things like that.
We're talking about a skirmish game which is only say 10, or we're talking a skirmish game that can easily manage 40 figures.
I think 40 would take a long time. I think anywhere between 10 and 20 is nice and comfortable, and then I would throw in a dragon rather than another 20 miniatures.
And what sort of price point are we looking at?
So the new box set, 4 factions, so 4 mates can buy it together, £75. But with crazy deals, like you can get a starter set for something like £15, can't you?
I know North Star was selling starter faction sets for £14.
Oh, right.
But that was a flash sale.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
But they're normally about 24,
£25.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time, and all the best with the show for today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers, both. Thank you. Well, we're with Terry from Renedra. Hello, Terry. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So, how's it look for you so far?
It's going very, very well. We might even run out of towers.
Fantastic stuff. Well, we're stood in front of the Renedra
Giant castle.
which looks absolutely superb. Do you want to tell us all about it, Terry?
Well, it started life as really a fantasy tower for Frostgrave.
Right.
But then...
that's the thing we see in the middle, yeah?
Yeah, that's the thing in the middle there.
Okay.
And with the corners, the gargoyles, that turns it into the fantasy tower that suits Frostgrave.
Yeah.
And we then decided that if you left off the corner pieces with the gargoyles and we just added a wall section, we could make a modular castle. And that's exactly what we did.
Okay.
And we made that in 3 different sizes to suit people's pockets. You can also buy it as single items, a tower and a wall section, if money is tight.
Yeah.
Or if you want to buy the whole castle, we will do a deal on the prices.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 3 standard castles.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through what you get in each package, please?
Right, on the large castle, you get 8 towers and a mid-section that takes one of the towers up to a gatehouse.
Right.
And you get 8 wall sections. And we'll throw in a bag of our new paved bases to put your figures on, because they near enough disappear, the bases, when they're on top. They become invisible.
Yeah.
On the standard castle, you will get 6 towers, a mid-section to take one of the towers up to the gatehouse, and 8 wall sections.
Yep.
And on the small castle, you will get 4 towers and 6 wall sections.
Fantastic. And what sort of price points are we looking for those?
Well, for the large castle, it would be £290.
Yeah.
For the standard castle, it would be £250. And for the small castle, £155 if bought as a castle.
Right.
If you buy it as individuals, the towers are £36.
Yeah.
The wall sections are £11 each, and the lower section, I believe, is something like £6.
Right. Now, as far as size-wise concerned, the wall sections are what, about 9 inches wide, are they?
Well, they're about just over 200 mil,
Right, okay.
and the tower, with the frontage of the large castle, is about 86 centimetres wide by 80 centimetres long.
Yeah.
The small castle comes down to the standard castle comes down to 86 centimetres frontage and 65 centimetres.
Right.
And
Okay.
then the smaller castle, I'm not too sure,
Yeah, fine.
but confident of the size at the moment.
Yeah, but as I say, so you can either buy it as a castle or
Or a separate part.
Modular, you can buy it as a separate part. So like you can basically put a city wall across one corner of a battlefield or something quite
Absolutely,
easily.
you can build a Great Wall of China if you wanted to.
Fantastic.
I see on there, Terry, you've got a broken wall section at the moment.
Yeah, that's our breach wall section, which is on the workbench, and that will be coming as soon as we can get that done after Salute.
Fantastic. And other than the castle, is Renedra doing anything else new for Salute this year?
Paved bases, all our ruins for Frostgrave.
Yeah.
They've been out for a while, but
Yeah.
they're all new, and we will add to that range.
I was going to say that's a steadily growing range, isn't it?
Yeah, and next year we will do a large project, but that is confidential at the moment.
Sure. Well, Terry, thank you very much for your time.
That's
Castle looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks very big.
Yeah. Oh, right. So I just noticed a guy's done something. So the top floors lift out to the towers.
the top floors lift out. You can place figures inside, firing through the windows.
We're going to put things like a fireplace in it.
Oh, cool. Great stuff. Well, no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. It looks really good.
No, please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Have a good show.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
So we're here with Mike and Lee from Bendy Boards. Hi guys.
Hello, Neil.
Hi. How's Salute for you?
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain all about Bendy Boards and what it do, and what you do, and what product ranges you've currently got?
Yeah, sure. So we started off making the Bendy Boards,
Yeah.
which was an idea that Lee came up, which is basically a bending wargaming table.
Right.
So you can hide them behind the sofa, under the sofa, not get in trouble with your significant other.
Right.
And then about 2 years ago, I got involved, and we decided to sort of go into the laser cut market.
Yeah.
And now we're laser cut tokens, laser cut terrain, custom stuff. There's a lot of the smaller companies that are going to Kickstarter and things who, you know, we've made friends with, who come to us and say, can you do us this sort of thing? And so that's where we are. So this is our first show as a traders. I think that was the word. Yeah. But been as punters plenty of times, but never as traders.
So as it's your first show, how's it going?
It's going all right.
Good. We're about to run out of half of the sets that I brought to start with.
That's going to be good then.
Oh, it's very, very
I
good.
was going to say,
We're only a few hours into the show.
So it's not even 12 o'clock yet. So is that a good or a bad thing, or is that a case of going to go, curses, I wish I bought a few more?
It was because Mike's been doing a lot of stuff on Facebook and getting it ready.
Yeah.
We had an awful lot of people come straight to us and say, right, I want a bundle, I want the Bendy box, I want this, and I want that. Can I have it now?
Yeah.
So, and we didn't hold any sort of pre-orders for people, so they all had. So a lot of them knew that we only had limited, so they came straight here.
Right. I mean, I noticed, for example, you've got a great thing like a set for Frostgrave, and you've got a great. I love the Victorian model you've got with the clock and the bandstand. I mean, it's almost Trumpton.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's Trumpton.
Yeah. I mean, and that's where we are in terrain. I mean, you guys know laser cut terrain. There's a million of us out there.
Yeah.
And so it's finding that perfect pitch point where you're pitching your stuff so that it's interesting to people. And so we see ourselves mid-tier.
Yeah.
We're not competing at the bottom end of the market, and we're certainly not up at the sort of foreground level, that sort of thing. We're sort of in the middle. You get a good solid quality terrain from us at a good price, and that's sort of our whole driving thing. So we try and keep the cost down and keep pushing that cost up, and especially as we've only been doing, terrain for maybe 18 months. I'm really happy with where we've got to.
Yeah. So I see you've got a dungeon there. Is that a modular system then?
Yes. MDF dungeon. It's got a jigsaw mechanism underneath, so you can rearrange it as you want. Rooms, corridors, all the usual sort of dungeon paraphernalia. This is just the start of what we've got planned. We've got plans for so you can go multi-dimensional, plans for sewers, all that sort of thing, so that you can cover a terrain. And it's a sort of a niche hole in the market, I guess. Is that you can obviously have resin dungeons, or you can spend lots of time doing Hearst Arts type stuff. This is the lazy Wargamers version of being able to put an MDF dungeon together, and it has bits that move.
Yeah, I see. You've got doors, arch doors, and you've got a gated door, arch door as well.
And a secret wall. And have you seen the secret wall?
A secret wall.
There's a secret door. It looks like one of the wall sections, and it just slides up. What we've found is when we've been showing people with it, is they want to play with things.
Because they straight away said, "Sorry, this is too much for me now." It's taking me back to Mr. Fox's gaming club when I was at school when I was 10.
You do it. It's weird, but it's a very tactile thing that you want to move the pieces about and stuff. So. Yeah. But yeah, it's a new thing for us. It's the thing that we're sort of launching at this salute, and
it looks very nice.
It's one of those things that. It's the hope that this is one of the products that we carries forward and makes us into that different laser cut company, rather than being yet another laser cut company.
So you've got some brick detailing on the walls and so on and so forth. Is that actually? Do you stick that on yourself? So
it's grey board.
Yeah.
And so it gives you that relief.
Yeah.
So that if you're painting and stuff, then you still get that relief, rather than if it was etched in detail. Then obviously when you paint it, it still just looks like etched in detail. So this gives you some 3D on the.
So would the gamer have the choice of where he sticks that? Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you can knock. So you can build it. You can knock it together. If you had a day, if you took the weekend to build one, then you could build what we've got, which is basically covers a 2-foot square area.
You could build it in a day. Even you.
And then you can put the grey board on as you want, as you paint it, whatever you're going to do, and you can put the grey board where you want.
That really does look like sort of good old-fashioned dungeon bash bit of kit. That
it
does look nice.
It's so much so that when DAFCON the other week, we had Otherworld Miniatures.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So
and they've actually asked for one, so they've got stuff running through.
So Wayne came to DAFCON last week and was demoing Otherworld. And he saw that I had a prototype of the dungeon there last week, and he was showing it that, and he said, "Oh, we'll have that on our stand." So we built a second one, and it's over on the Otherworld stand.
What's the scale it's designed for? 28 on the
28. The squares on the bases are 30mm squares, so it works with Hero Quest, Warhammer Quest, all of those sort of the Mantic dungeon crawler thing. All of those sort of dungeon crawlers. And then if this one does well, I've got designs for a sci-fi version as well. So.
Oh, cool! Great stuff. As far as your signature product, the Bendy Boards, are concerned, what sort? I mean, so many people who haven't got a dedicated table end up carting around bits of MDF or wallpaper-based tables and stuff. So, what is a Bendy Board?
Unfortunately, it's a dodo.
It's a dodo, really?
Because it's just... I started off building them for myself, like I said, Mike, and they take about a day and a half to finish.
Right. And
since I do all production, a day and a half for me to do them at the moment is a day and a half I'm not doing and keeping up with the orders.
And of course, especially with all the laser cut terrain and everything else, which is probably going to be a much bigger seller than...
Well, that's... exactly. So the Bendy Boards... I could go on about the tight nature of gamers, but basically a Bendy Board was retailing at 90 quid.
Yeah,
that's a day and a half of labour plus materials for a 90 quid item, and you're not selling enough for them to make it worthwhile you're doing it. No, but gamers won't pay more than that. You guys know what gamers are like. Got to talk to the missus about that, and then you never hear from them again. So,
but I mean, saying that though, there's 97 different Bendy Boards out there that I've made.
Oh, right.
So it's not just that there's a few of them, there are lots out there and there's lots to see. So it's just got to the point where it's something I'd love to be able to continue, but it's going to have to be maybe come back when we have more help.
I've got to say, as you grow the business,
Yes.
maybe it's something you can look at reinvesting into.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, good to look so far then.
Yes. Excellent.
Excellent stuff. Well, I'd say, got some great looking stuff. Wish you all the best for the rest of the show, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, chap.
Well, we're here with a good friend of the show, Martin from Warbases. How you doing, Martin?
Not too bad, Neil. Thank you very much.
So, how's the look for you at the moment?
Very busy at the moment. As you can see in the stand, we've got lots and lots of people in here, pushing and shoving to get all our new goodies.
I know we've been kind of talking about it for a couple of weeks, and obviously meeting up with you at Hammerhead and stuff. But what have you got new at the show today?
New to today out is we've got some sharp practice carts for the new set of rules from Two Fat Lardies.
Oh, fantastic! So you're officially launching those today?
We've had them out for a couple of weeks just to test the market, but we're going full on with them today. We've got lots and lots of those in stock for people to buy today for those rules. We've got some Napoleonic wagons as well.
Oh, these are the ones you got to sneak peek to me at Hammerhead, was that?
That's right, that was the ones that we did, and those are going really well too.
Okay, so what does that include then?
We've got 3 baggage wagons, a couple of caissons, a field forge, and a French 6-pound gun at the moment.
Cool. And right, okay. So you got a French gun. So what's the plan? So what's the plans as far as that's concerned? Are you going to massively expand that range as far as things like the artillery and stuff is concerned?
Well, the artillery. What we're doing is just kind of dipping a toe in the water at the moment, just to see how those are received, see how they go. If they're received well, which they seem to be, then there's a chance that we'll expand into the other different artillery for that period as well. Once we've completed the French stuff, then we'll go look at doing other nationalities as well.
Cool. And what other vehicles have you got sorted?
New vehicles. Well, our long-awaited Rolls-Royce armoured car is available today.
Oh, fantastic! So we've finally got the casting sorted with the turret, have we?
Everything's all sorted. We've got lots of those in stock today for people as well.
I'm almost tempted to have some of those, just to stick on the sideboard. I've got no game to ever play them with, but I just like the look of them.
They're really good looking. I've got a painted up one there.
Yeah.
Honestly, standing a couple of feet away from it, you would never know it was MDF.
Cool. And what else have you got as far as that's concerned?
Just 1 or 2 little odds and sods that are just to expand and complete other ranges.
Also, how about your figures? Because I know at Hammerhead you just released your Red Guard for...
Yes, well, we've got packs of those out, multi-packs of those today. So putting 2 or 3 packs together to save a couple of pounds for people to do that. We've got a few new animal packs out today as well.
Because your animals are great, aren't they?
We've got some ravens.
Yeah.
And we've got some sheep. And
sheep, they
can't have a battlefield without sheep.
Another pack of sheep, and they're Jacob sheep this time.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
So a little bit different again.
Yeah. Moving into rare breed sheep.
That's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And as far as everything else is concerned, he's just got kind of cranking on and.
Well, we're just making 1 or 2 changes to the business at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm taking on a manager to manage my unit, which will free up me time to do more designing. So hopefully over the next few months you should see a lot more new things coming out.
Good news for Warbases then. It's going well.
On and upwards.
That's
Onwards
good.
and upwards.
That's good.
Fantastic stuff. Well, thank you, Martin. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Have a really good show.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah. And just to prove that what you said on the last show was a complete pile of tosh, it's Mr. Whitaker. Hello, mate.
I deny all knowledge of this. I'm not here. Despite what it may have said on my blog, the podcast is, of course, the definitive and authentic version of the truth, and I am not here.
You're not actually here at all?
No, not here at all. This is not me standing at the foundry stand not buying any Napoleonic Spanish.
Cool. So you're working today, then?
I'm taking a break from it, but yes, we're spelling Ruben on his stall at PE2 Collectibles so he can actually eat.
Cool.
Because he didn't last year, apparently. He had breakfast in the Premier Inn and supper at 5 o'clock, and that was it.
Oh dear.
And we said, you're not doing that this year.
Right. So, how's it going then?
Pretty good. People seem to be buying stuff. I did the round. I let Graham help run the stall at 10 o'clock and did my scheduled list of people to visit and bought lots of stuff, all of which is shiny.
Cool. What you bought lots of stuff?
Yes.
Okay, what have you bought? Come on.
What have I bought? I have a box of Gripping Beast Lake Rovens.
Cool.
I have a copy of Saga Age of the Wolf.
Cool.
I have some 95th rifles from Offensive Miniatures. I have some assorted female character figures in various Napoleonic uniforms and female Spanish guerrillas, very useful for Sharp, from Elite Wargames and models.
Oh, right, yeah.
I have some Brother Vinny's Shield Maidens to go with Annie's Shield Maidens. I have a Catherine the Great from Annie, and lots of bases and some Sharp practice wagons from the good folks at Warbases.
Cool. Oh, you're having a busy boy.
Yeah. Actually, it came to less than 100 quid in total.
Oh, result,
yeah, except that I haven't actually been back to Tablescapes yet because I'm not sure I dare.
Ah, right.
Have you seen their Mediterranean 28mm scenery range?
No, I've been avoiding it.
They're all very lovely, lightweight plastic, painted. For Spanish, very sharp-looking Spanish gatehouse, 15 quid.
Oh, very nice.
And I could spend about 300 quid there without batting an eyelid. Just as in, here's my credit card, please fill my bag with your entire Mediterranean range.
Yeah, which obviously you need for Sharp anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be that Sharp battle where you just fight over this sprawling mission-walled village.
Yes.
It's just got to be done.
Cool. And you've restrained yourself from purchasing a fortress.
I was always going to.
Yeah. It looks nice, though, doesn't it?
It does look very nice. I am resisting temptation.
Yeah, indeed. So, well done, mate. It's good to catch up with you.
Likewise. No doubt see you again before the end of the day at the Bloggers Meetup.
Indeed. And we shall catch up with you on the podcast in a week or so.
Oh, God. Just by which time? When are we next recording, anyway?
I can't remember.
Sometime.
Recording now.
Sometime. After this is edited.
All right, which means that I ought to turn the tables and ask you, what have you bought?
What I bought?
I just bought him a laser pointer.
I bought nothing.
All right, I should point out we have here, not only do we have Neil, we have Mr. Luff. Say hi, Mr. Luff.
Yes.
Hi.
and so what have you two bought between you?
We bought 2 laser pointers. That's all we bought. That's it.
Really?
Seriously, in all seriousness, we went to buy some stuff from our mate Martin at Warbases, and he didn't have it in stock.
No. We came down here today on the M1 and we said, Martin will have it, he brings everything, he'll have it, he'll have what we've got. You got that? No, you ain't got it. Oh, right, okay.
But he can do it for you.
Oh, yeah, this is for our top secret Sharp Practice 2 project, which we're going to let, we'll talk about on the next show.
Because Hobbs' reaction is going to be an absolute doozy.
It'll be. Oh,
anything that winds up the Welsh Wizard is always good
it's fine by me.
Indeed. Well, have a good rest of the show, mate.
You too.
And we'll catch up with you.
That is the plan.
Yeah. And we've just mugged Mike back again because we just caught you buying some more stuff.
I haven't bought it yet.
What are you doing then?
Well, I've got some Foundry Peninsular British Flank Company, which are quite nice slender castings compared to the Warlords, which always look a bit like 35 mils that have had a brick placed on the red.
Yeah, of course, these are earlier
Perrys, aren't they?
Perry
sculpts, yeah, they are, and they're lovely.
They are very
but
nice.
The plan seems like, given my rifles are a mix of Offensive Miniatures and Alban, which are now out of production, these will go very nicely as 3 line units of the South Essex.
So with all the Spanish stuff?
Oh, with all the Spanish stuff, which I'll be picking up as soon as I can find it.
Right. Marvellous.
It will very well waylaying one of these people in the very bright yellow shirts. You can tell them at the Foundry stall. Everybody has ridiculously bright yellow shirts on.
Indeed. Great stuff, mate. Well done.
All right.
Catch you soon. With our mate Peter Berry from Baccus Miniatures. Hello, Peter. How you doing?
Hello, Neil. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you. So, how's it going today at Saluton?
Very busy, but that's what you'd expect from Salute.
Yep. Okay, so I suppose the inevitable question: what have you got new coming out at the moment?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. We've got the first of our releases in our World War II range.
Cool.
We've got infantry and support weapons for British, Americans and Germans.
Fantastic. So what does that include?
We're looking for each nationality. You've got infantry advancing and firing, and your support weapons, LMG, MMG, a couple of mortars, and an anti-tank weapon.
Yeah.
So pretty much all you need to get basic infantry squads together.
Yeah. Okay. So you're doing that for British, Americans, Germans, no Russians at the moment?
No, we're starting off this. It's a huge subject. So we're starting off with Normandy 44.
Okay.
And that will give us most of what we actually need. Once we've got that completed, it's a fairly simple matter to switch over to Eastern Front, because a lot of the German equipment and figures we can just move straight over. So that will be the next phase of expansion once we get this bit out of the way.
Okay. So as far as other things are concerned, I mean, I know you were in the middle of your 14-18 range. Well, I suppose almost like last time we spoke. How's that going?
Well, that's the first phase of that's complete. We've got Western Front through to 1918 with most of the major troop types.
Yeah.
We just need a few more artillery pieces, which we've got really in the production process to come out.
Yeah.
And once we've got the next bit of this World War II range, which we'll be talking about, out of the way, we'll be switching back to Great War and doing Mesopotamia.
Okay. Cool.
Which sounds real fun.
So something else, something a bit different.
Yeah, something romantic. I think T. Lawrence, flowing roads in the desert. It's quite cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose, especially if I was coming out with the World War II stuff, everyone bound to turn around and go, well, that's the infantry. When does the armour turn up?
That's coming down the line. I mean, it's no secret. We're looking at using 3D printing masters to produce the material we want. We've got the vehicles designed. What we're waiting for now is a technology to catch it to produce castings, to produce a master model that we can use to produce castings from. It's almost there. The technology on this side is advancing quickly, but we're talking very high-end machines. We're not talking home 3D printing. Our tolerance for surface finish is very, very exacting, and even the high-end machines at the moment can't produce it.
Oh, right.
We've tried agencies all over the world, and people are actually producing models for other companies, but it's not there yet. Almost, and we've got a couple of leads we're trying at the moment, and I'm quite hopeful.
Yeah.
Once that's done, we will then be rolling them out, and you'll see lots of very, very high quality vehicles coming out.
Oh, so it's simply a case of everything's ready to go, we're just waiting for the...
Yeah, but the technology, especially at the high end, which is what we're talking about, is moving so quickly. It's quite unbelievable.
And, okay, so obviously we've seen the back end of the remastering of the French.
Yep.
What's next? You talking about, was it 7 Years' War?
7 Years' War in Canada. We're going to be doing the French colonial troops and the British troops.
Yeah.
That will coincide with our next set of rules coming out. We're doing a polymer set of rules which will be covering the American War of Independence and the 7 Years' War in France.
Right.
So
that's French-Indian War, yeah?
French-Indian War, yes. That will be coming out in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to complement that, obviously, with the correct figures to go with that.
Cool.
And that's nearly done in terms of getting the figures mastered.
Yeah.
As you know yourself, it can be a 3 or 4 month cycle from getting agreed through to production.
Okay.
So that's all in train.
Cool.
And then after that, there's a year's big project, which is a complete overhaul and remastering of our English Civil War range.
Right. That's going to be fairly good, yeah.
It will be, yeah. It's a subject on which I'm a bit of a fanatic about. Every time we've remastered a range, we've expanded it from what we've done with the original. And that's going to be no exception with English Civil War range. We've got big, big plans. We're going to make it compatible with the 30 Years' War. So we're going to be expanding the troop types to cover that, and the equipment, the armour. But yeah, we've got something special lined up with this. I think when people actually see the end results, they'll be quite impressed.
Cool. So lots and lots going on. Well, as ever, I think.
As ever, yes. Yeah. I mean, the other thing is we're also going back to what saying about the French-Indian War. I'm desperately trying to reformat an older set of rules of mine, which are called Ranger.
Yeah.
Which are a lovely, lovely, fun set of rules. Not taken too seriously, but they cover the French-Indian Wars, and they will work beautifully with the new figures we've got coming out.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to cover the period at 2 levels.
All right.
Again, more projects to do with than I've got time to handle. But we've got lots of things in trade. We never stand still.
Great stuff. Well, thanks for your time, Pete, and I hope to continue to speak for you.
Okay, nice to see you again, Neil. Take care.
Well, it's our old friend, Mr. Townsend. Hello, Will. How you doing?
Hey Neil, I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, well. I think it's. How's it going?
Good. Huh? Ask me tomorrow morning. No, good. It's always fantastic. It's the big showcase of the year. It's great. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been something of a busy boy in all sorts of boys this year.
Yes, fingers and toes, I think now. Yes, trying to build the Wargames business.
Because you've just done a Kickstarter, haven't you?
We have, yes. Tank, which is the first booster to the Great War. That went very well. That's just shipped, and it's had its sort of first outing today, doing very well.
Cool.
We've got the French expansion for that coming later in the year. For Essen.
Superb. So is that everything for the French? So
pretty much. No, it'll be infantry, tanks, everything sort of 1915 to 18.
As like a single box set, sort of.
Yes, one nice big box set, and it'll bring in new rules for specials like sniper, command, engineers, mine sapping. I can't remember what else. There's a few flamethrowers, and we'll also have booster packs for German and British as well. So bring in more rules, more figures, more layers to the game. But alongside that,
because we particularly enjoyed Great War, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's very what could you say? Attritional.
It's World War I, fellas.
Exactly.
No.
You captured the flavour. We sort of we realised that, didn't we, after our second game?
Yeah. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have enjoyed playing.
Good. It is great. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's the only guy, Mr. Borg, that could create a good, fun World War I game.
Yeah.
And to have fun and World War I in the same sentence is difficult to do.
That's
squeamish.
That's what our discussion was, wasn't it? It's been on in the podcast where we reviewed it. We did say that to actually get a game which was attritional and had the full flavour, but yet was actually still fun to play, was quite a feat in itself.
Yes, I know. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? But we've got other things bubbling, Mr. Borg and I. So as the year unfolds, there'll be some more interesting things coming out.
Yeah. So, and obviously, again, with what you're saying with all the booster packs and stuff, I suppose that also has the knock-on effect of helping the figure range in itself.
Yes. So we are focused on it. It is a board game with nice miniatures.
Yeah.
But we are hoping to push that secondary market. That these are also tabletop, models.
Yeah.
But I think it's the primary market is the board game market.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So you did Essen. Was it Essen for the first time last year?
No, we did it a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't really right because we were young, naive, and free and unburdened by.
I was going to say, how did it go?
Experience. The first time we did it 7 years ago, it was fun. Much German beer was consumed, but in terms of business, it wasn't really. We were very much a miniatures business then, and this last one we went to with our first board game, of course, is much more relevant, and we had much more of a. Same amount of beer was consumed, but there was much more grown-up business done, and we're trying to create a name as not just a miniatures company, but a board games company as well. Yeah. So this Essen coming up, this Games Expo in June. There'll be some unveilings and some news to be shown then.
Oh, superb! So we'll come
Mr. Shuck, I might give you a sneak preview before Games Expo.
Oh, cool.
But there's some interesting stuff that we're going to reveal then, and then there'll be more stuff released and revealed at Essen in October.
Cool, good stuff. So that's the board game side of things.
Yes.
How's it been going? How's it been going on the miniature side? I noticed you've been doing things like, you've done obviously you've been cracking on with the figures things. We've recently seen British Powers, haven't we?
Yes. Which are
in 15mm.
Yes, well, love the Powers. I think
You're late.
Yeah, unfortunately, a year late for me. There we go. It's only one box you've lost.
But as I say, that's why God made eBay. And recycle. It's green. Now, the idea is to continue building the 15mm and the 1/72 scale ranges. And a mixture of vehicles. You'll see more gun kits coming up. Yeah. I mean, we got a very nice. My guys have just started work on a very nice 25-pounder gun kit.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be early, late, desert, Northwest Europe.
Yeah.
Quad and CMP tractor options.
Ooh.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
Yep. So yes, there'll just be more. More of the same. Nice core key plastic kits, figures and vehicles coming through both scales.
So how long have you been
core business, yeah.
So how long have you been doing the army boxes now then? They seem a new addition that I've never seen before. They weren't here last year, were they?
No, they weren't. They came out pre-Christmas last year, November. I've been promising them for years. All my trade accounts will be saying, "Oh, when are you get some box sets?" And yes, we've done some army box sets. They're going very well. Very good value. A good starter point. Someone who's coming into the hobby. At the moment, just the smaller scale, but we might do 20mm 172 army sets as well eventually. But at the moment, just 15mm.
Cool. And obviously, Battle Group is still soldiering on. So a couple of releases for that this year.
Indeed, yes. Vac-Them-Rind, which is first outing today.
Yeah.
That's the bulge, and we've got something good coming out in the autumn time, which I won't say anything now. But then we've got 1940 Desert this time next year.
Oh, so next one next year?
Yeah, which is frustrating me because I want to play. Yeah, but anyway, there are reasons why I wanted to push that out a bit.
Yeah, because Warwick was originally demoing that at Derby last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. We wanted to spend some time on that.
Right.
Again, we don't like to rush those things out if we're not happy with them. And as I say, we've got something in the autumn which will make sense, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, as I say, the whole reason you started this was to do early war desert, wasn't it? Make tanks for yourself?
Absolutely. Oh, yes, busted. Thank you. Yes, you're quite right. So you'll see a little bit more desert stuff creeping in over the next sort of 12 months. I mean, it's the same old thing. The most popular stuff is late war.
Yeah.
But that's what sells. The early war stuff has not as much love, doesn't sell as well. But I think if you keep banging it out, banging the drum, saying come on guys, early war is interesting, it's good. Don't just keep driving the tigers around the hedgerows. I think the early war will gain traction.
Yeah.
As a gaming arena. Period.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, it's always good to catch up with you.
And you too.
And again, you continue to bring out quality stuff, and we shall look forward to all this stuff that you're hinting at that we'll find out later in the year.
I'm a terrible tease, aren't I? Sorry.
You are.
Desert War, that could be another project coming up for the two of us, Neil. We have touched on it before now.
Well, you've been toying with the sand table, haven't you?
Well, we have, but you're cleaning it up after we've finished playing. I'll make it, you clean it.
And don't let the cat near it, all right?
I'll do right. Will, thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
I bumped into Dave Marshall. Hello, mate.
All right.
Good to see you. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been ages, hasn't it?
Yeah. How you doing?
Very well. Yeah, exciting day today.
Yeah?
I love Salute. Yeah, best day of the year.
Well, last time we bumped into each other was... hang on. Was it Derby?
Probably, yes. I think
other partisan. It was
just after the Agincourt thing.
Yes.
And you asked me about that, yeah.
Yes, that was it. Funny enough, we spoke to Kirsty Waters.
You did, yes.
Recently,
yes, I heard that.
And she was hearing that she was telling us that you kind of went, well, you got it installed in Leeds and kind of went, that's it. That's the end of that baby.
It was a very strange day when the glass went on, and I realised that was it. I couldn't. Well, when it went into the tower,
yeah,
I knew I was getting it back. So if there was anything wrong, I could touch it up. But in Leeds, that's it forever now. Can't do anything about it. But it looks good. So.
I was going to say, all things considered.
If you see a bent lance or anything, it's going to stay a bent lance. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of consumed like 3 years of your life.
It did, yeah, just about.
Yeah. Okay, so can you give us any clues about what you're up to now?
Well, it's back to doing the regular work for the hobbyist, really. So for the Wargame and the Toy Soldier. I mean, here today I've got 7 or 8 games that people have using my stuff. I've got a waiting list that's disappearing into the distance. Mm-hmm. It's great. Talking to my wife about working for me.
Oh, cool.
It's gone.
I suppose, as I say, with one thing or another, I suppose that the day-to-day stuff has kind of taken a bit of a back seat recently, yeah?
Well, it did, but it was because the Agincourt thing was spread out over 2.5 years. It had moments of intense work, but then long periods where figures were being painted out and stuff like that.
So how do you set about painting that? I mean, I wouldn't imagine where you'd start. I mean,
well,
do you have a system?
There was 4,500 figures, and I realised that was the key to it, really, to get that done. And I didn't paint. I painted a few cavalry, but there were 2 guys in Nottingham that did it all, 500 a month, painted minis.
Do they sleep?
They got married. It was Christmas, and they still did 500 a month for 9 months. They don't want to see another English archer, but besides that, it was,
but they don't want to see another paint.
But they were key to it, because if they let me down, then that was it.
And you realise that, Neil, that there's 2 guys in Nottingham that have painted more in 9 months than you have in your entire wargaming career.
Yeah, thanks for putting that out, Dave.
Yeah.
Probably in their lunch break.
Yeah, probably.
I got you in there, mate. I got you in on the live pod.
So that was. We had a few more guys paint a few high, the figures that were at the edge.
Yes.
Really well.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they did the rest.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the old classic thing of the ones on the outside that everybody sees.
If you can't see it, don't worry about it. Is that the case?
Well, have you seen it?
I haven't. I'm going up next weekend.
They've got periscopes.
Right.
That you get to see at eye level, and so all the periscopes have got the better painted stuff.
Yeah.
Which was.
Well, yeah.
It works like that. So yeah.
Cool. So as far as TMTerrain is concerned, what's going on with that at the moment then?
What am I doing at the minute? I've got a lot of Toy Soldier stuff, a lot of 54mm collector stuff I do a lot of. Terrain boards. You put me on the spot now. Loads, I've got to say. I've got... yes, what have I got? I do a bit of MDF building. This is for some Sarissa riverboats I've been asked to make.
Oh, cool.
Which is great. I wondered years ago when MDF became popular whether that would be an impact on me, but it's almost gone the other way, really. People are getting used to having really nice terrain.
Yeah.
And so it just the next step up is some scratch-built commission stuff. Cool. So that's worked. I'm doing mainly historical stuff.
Yeah.
For the Wargamer. I'll hopefully get a few commissions from today. We'll see. But it's going really, really well. I mean, the hobby is very positive at the minute, and I'm certainly benefiting from it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, it's always good to chat, good to catch up, and have a good show.
Thank you. I will.
Cheers.
You too.
Caught up with our old friend Andy Cooper from Westman.
You're all right, yeah.
Oh, wow, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good, yeah, I'm good.
How's Salute been for you so far?
Excellent, it's busy as usual.
Yeah.
Not too much coffee.
Early start.
I'm caffeine, I'm buzzing, yeah. So
all right.
I'm still on 3 Starbucks at the moment, or Costa, I should say.
Other coffees are available.
Yeah,
indeed.
Others are.
Indeed. Right, so what have Westman been doing recently? Oh, well, first off, congratulations, lovely Salute figure.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. There she is. That's the official Salute figure this year. So If you got one in your goodie bag.
Well, Press don't get the goodie bag, but I've nicked I've nicked the one off my son already.
You've got one of you.
I turn around to him. You don't want that for anything. I've got the figure range. Tough.
Okay, I'm having it. Yeah.
I paid for the ticket.
I have to keep telling people it's made of unobtainium, so beyond this, you can't. It's difficult to get. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So yes. So that's one thing as far as say lovely little figure for steampunk. But you'll be doing lots and lots of stuff. I mean, first off, how's the all the Worn Empire stuff going?
It's coming along. Yeah. Most of the sculpting's done, so I'm just rounding off the stretch goal stuff and the 3rd century Romans, which were added in. So
yeah, that was kind of a late addition, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but there's quite a few of them. When we get to it, it was kind of 4 different legionary types, which is like guys in scale, guys in lorica, guys in mail, and another one.
Yeah.
There's two different types of guys in lorica actually, because there's 2 different helmet types. So yeah.
All right. So lots and lots and lots of
lots of Romans. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's coming on good. Yeah. We're just in the moulding process now. So for the backers, the website will go live at the end of May, and people start to be able to order their stuff. Yeah,
cool.
Make their choices.
And then from a 40 Battle World War II sort of thing, which is a bit closer to our hearts at the moment.
Yeah.
Since I'm still busy working through an awful lot of my 40 Battle stuff. You just produced the infantry packs for Desert War.
We have, yeah, Deutsche Afrika Korps. So we got platoon sets, and we got support weapons for those guys.
Yeah.
Italians on the horizon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic stuff.
Italians.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Any vehicles you're going to add to that range as well? You're thinking of?
Yes, got a big list.
Big list.
Big list of vehicles.
Yeah, because basically at the moment you kind of done. The infantry packs obviously just come out, but you previously done some artillery bits and that, and anti-tank guns, and that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we've already got quite a few vehicles.
Well,
for
yeah,
desert.
Sure.
So we've got the special. We've got the Shermans and with the sand tracks and stuff like that. The bits and pieces for that.
As I say, from earlier in the range, you got quite a few, but
yeah,
but you got a lot of extra plans for vehicles coming out.
Yeah, got some stuff. Yeah, I can't say specifically what it is. Yeah, because I haven't got the list in my head. So.
Right. But one thing is Italians because I mean. Warwick Kinraid always goes on to say Italians are really fun to play, and they're not, and even they're not quite as bad as people think.
No.
Yeah, and it's always worth giving them a go. So
yeah, well, I want to do some of the more obscure stuff for the Italians as well. So I want to do some of the colonial units and things like that. So,
cool.
And paratroopers. So because they're all there. So we'll get to it.
Good stuff. And you just sneak peeked at something which we've just been drooling over some new painted figures.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us about it.
Well, it's Pacific Corps. So
in 15mm.
In 15mm, yeah. So US Marine Corps and Japanese. So it's quite a comprehensive range.
Well, I mean, the figures we've seen are really nice. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's kind of imminent-ish.
After War and Empire concludes, so...
obviously at the moment you're kind of full on with that.
Because you've been full on with that for a while, haven't you, really?
Yeah, that's a good 6-month project, yeah. Because, it went bigger than we were expecting, so, I mean, we started the preparations for that last September. We ran the Kickstarter in December, so that's January, February, March, April.
So we're going to be seeing Westwind turning more towards Second World War as time passes now, bumping that range up?
Well, that's Forged in Battle, so, Forged in Battle focus, that's their focus, but... Westwind are going to be making some more secret stuff, so we actually haven't abandoned secrets.
Oh, you haven't abandoned secrets too?
No.
Well, that's good news.
It's just that technical things on the Kickstarter, it wasn't going to work for us. Where it was.
Yeah.
It was just too far to go to get those the miniature side of things into production. The project wasn't bringing enough people in. So there wasn't enough churn going on in the project, so you could tell what was going to happen. So we just took the decision to stop.
Yeah.
Rather than sort of overextend ourselves and then sort of get in some sort of in trouble. So we can't go, we can't do that, we can't do this.
Well, that's sensible. I mean, we've seen that with some companies, haven't they? That they kind of pushed it because they're funded, and then 6-12 months down the line,
you run out of money.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. So, that's where we are with that. And we got some more Empire of the Dead stuff coming as well. So we got there's a sort of like we've got a walking machine, your steam-powered walking machine.
Yeah.
We've seen that. Well,
Yes.
we've got a militarised version of that coming. So
cool.
big Gatling gun on the arm, and guy in a pith helmet driving it, and full body armor. It looks really good. Really
Look
cool.
forward to that. Cool. And of course, as we keep mentioning every time we see you, Mars is always on the horizon.
Well, yeah. That's on the back of my mind. Gnawing away. It's like a little hamster in there. Yeah.
But I suppose it's one of these things at the moment. It's like one thing at a time, and
juggling.
So many balls in the air.
Yeah.
But no, Andy, as I say, looking forward to what we're seeing. I mean, having just seen these this Pacific War stuff, we're kind of thinking, well, that's an idea. I mean, we were already discussing Western Desert.
Right.
So
just got to work out the scale now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Too many suites in the market now, isn't there? When we're just thinking about what we're going to do, and what scale.
Yeah, well, I mean, having said that, we've already found a nice sweet spot with World War II in 15 mil. So.
Yeah, we have.
So yeah, look forward to that. And as I say, well, all being well, we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
Fantastic to hear that World Empire's going well and everything's good. And the show itself been really busy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, a big queue.
Yeah, well, so a big band. In which case, actually, better let you go and take
this
some
is
money.
Quieter now. This is quieter. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, always good to speak to you, mate.
Brilliant, Neil.
So
right.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
Okay, be good.
Cheers.
Okay.
Well, managed to catch up with Joe McCullough from Osprey Publishing, probably most well known with most people as the author of Frostgrave.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, great. It's been an amazing day so far. We've been busy kind of non-stop. It's been really terrific.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, lots to talk about as far as Osprey is concerned.
Yep.
Lots of things going on. Funny enough, we've just done an interview with Roby Jenkins about Horizon Wars.
Right.
Obviously, that's one of your big releases today.
Yeah, that's the hot thing today. So first chance for most people to get it, and it's just I think a lot of people are waiting for that new mech game. There just hasn't been a good mech game in a while, and one that isn't tied to a specific background, and it encourages the use of any figures. And it's really tactical. I mean, one of the things I like about it is the air rules are fully integrated, so it's really designed so that you can play mechs versus aircraft. It wasn't tacked on later, as you often say. So
I understand that as far as Osprey Games is concerned, you guys are just rushed off your feet at the moment.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, the success of Frostgraves caught us really off guard.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
It seems like it's one of those rule sets that's caught everybody's imagination and taken the Wargames world by storm.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't keep the thing in print. In all honesty, it's just every time we print some, they go. And yeah, I think it's just come at a really, really good time when people were looking around for that, and just a real excuse to use the imagination again and grab a new band of figures. It's terrific, and just the public feedback I've gotten, how nice people are, and it's just been astounding, really astounding. So
obviously, so it sounds like you're just struggling to keep up with the amount of demand for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've got some new stuff coming out for it. Yeah.
Yep. So there's a new supplement coming out in July called Into the Breeding Pits. Yep.
With some plastic knolls that look absolutely fantastic.
There will be plastic knolls. So Kev Dalmore's brought the 3-ups painted today, and it's look great. Look fantastic. So.
Okay, so into the breeding pits. Where does that take us with Frostgrave then?
It takes you underground, essentially. Right. So the theory being kind of that back in the old city, there was this group called the Beast Crafters who were down there creating monsters for the arenas and things, and the city got wiped out. But some of the things that were down there were a little bit sheltered, and they've been down there for 1,000 years, breeding and fighting and causing mischief. But there's also a lot of good stuff down there. There's a lot of good loot and a lot of good magical secrets. So sort of do you dare to go underneath the ground where all these things are running around, but where the good treasure is. So, just another excuse for people to to have fun and create some dungeons and bring in some new monsters.
It's a nice system. It's a nice system. So once we got into the breeding pits, plans for what's coming next?
Yeah, there's another supplement coming in. I can't remember off the top of my head, but later in the year, it's in the catalog. It's called Forgotten Packs. So that one's going to deal a bit more with demons and a bit of barbarian incursion from the north, the barbarian tribes getting involved in the mix. So lots more fun coming there.
And then away from miniature wargaming, obviously there's the kind of board gaming arm has really started growing. I mean, obviously we saw The King is Dead, which we particularly enjoyed.
Yeah, we played that a few times.
Yeah, you've enjoyed that.
It's a real brain twister, isn't it?
It is. And obviously you just released Odin's Ravens?
Odin's Ravens came out last month, I think.
Is that going to be another game that's going to get Neil going, I want to do this, but I want to do that as well?
The good thing about Odin's Ravens is it's really quick.
Yeah, it's really quick to play.
Yeah, quick player. It's about 20 minutes for a game, so you probably want to do best 2 out of 3 or something. But it's very simple, very fun. It's the kind of game that parents can play with their kids, but actually enjoy playing with each other as well. It's just that kind of.
If I'm winning, of course, and then we'll just do the one game now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else is coming out on the actual board game front then?
Okay, so we got 2 things coming out next month, actually. One is a little card game called Ravens of Three Sahasri. It's based on it is a Japanese game that was done very limited release in Japan, but it's 2 players playing cooperatively to beat the game, and it is a serious brain twister kind of puzzle. It's kind of solitaire for the pros, But it's got some really beautiful art and a really nice little story to it. And the other thing we've got coming out, the kind of bigger release, is a game called Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space, which is, I like to call it a board game without a board. Basically, all the players have little dry erase notepads, and each page of that is a map of a spaceship done in hexes. And the theory of the game is, or the point of the game is, all the players are either humans trying to escape the ship or aliens trying to eat the humans, but nobody knows who's which. And nobody knows where anybody is. So everybody's got their own little map, they know where they are, and you move around this map trying to get to the escape pods if they're humans. And certain things cause you to make noise or potentially make noise, so you slowly can try to build a picture of where people are, but it's one of those games that's just hilarious to play. It's actually quite tense to play, but it's also hilarious, and you end up screaming and pointing fingers and just having a really great time. It's sort of the ultimate party game. It's really, really neat.
Cool. Well, we should look forward to that.
Yep. And then later in the year, the big one, we're doing a reprint of Escape from Colditz.
I was about to say, that was in the back of my mind, thinking, Dave, this is one of your all-time favourite board games, isn't it?
I played it a few times, you could say that now.
Yeah. So you're reprinting Escape from Colditz?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I think in some ways that's, if you're doing board games in Britain, that's a bit of the dream. You know, this is the most legendary board game in Britain.
It's part of the folklore.
It is. It's really, and it's really wonderful. Our game designer Duncan Malloy has been able to work with one of the original designers to talk through some things, make a few rules tweaks. So you're going to have kind of 2 versions in the box. You're going to have the original rules if you want to play that.
I was going to ask, and that's exactly what I was hoping for.
So,
that you're going to have the original, and then you're going to have something which
you'll get both, because I think people want those original rules. They want to be able to see that and play that. But I think also people have acknowledged that
a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, game design has moved on since then, and some of those things are a bit antiquated. So, a chance to speed the game up a little bit and just correct some of the things that people have wanted to change over the years or have changed through house rules anyway. So that's our big release coming in October. And
October.
Yep.
Oh, so that's kind of been launched at Essen, is it?
That's basically.
Oh, super.
Should be interesting.
I got Escape from Colditz being launched at a German phone.
Well,
yes, that's going to be
fun. But if you're into board games, you got to be there.
Too right. Oh, very much so. Well, Joe, it's been great to see how Osprey Games is growing as an arm of the business. And as I say, especially congratulations on Osprey.
Thank you.
It's a great set of rules, and all the best for the future, mate.
Yep.
It's good
Thank you. Good to see you.
Well, we're here with Soapy from Gripping Beast.
Hi.
Hello, mate. We were just saying before we started recording. We haven't spoken haven't seen each other for ages.
No, that's true.
I'm just going back in the day when in the days of Mofo.
Yeah, I mean these still are the days of Mofo, but when Mofo was bringing out new stuff,
yes, when Mofo first came around, which is 10 years ago or
more years than I'd care to think about it.
Well, you're here today on the Gripping Beast stand.
I am, yes.
Can you just tell us what's going on with Gripping Beast at the moment? Because you've got loads of new stuff going on.
Obviously we've just brought out a new plastic box set of late Roman infantry.
Oh, they look nice.
Yes, they are lovely. And they are the first of a few boxes of Romans. Next one, hopefully, being Scholar Cavalry around November, I believe.
Oh, right, cool.
Also in November time, we've got a new mass battle historical combat game, Sword Point, which we are demonstrating here at the moment.
Can you tell us any more about that?
I can't.
Oh, okay.
Because unfortunately, being a new dad, I haven't had the time to
congratulations.
commit to. Thank you very much. I haven't had the time to commit to getting involved in the playtesting and that.
Yeah.
So I know that it looks great and I enjoy it, but I can't really give you huge amounts of detail at the moment. So the best people to talk to would be Martin, who's running our demos today.
Yeah.
And who's written the book.
Well, of course, he's the guy who wrote WAB 2, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So he's, there's pedigree there.
Yeah.
But don't expect to see WAB when you play Sword Point. It's a beast unto itself, and I think it's a cleaner system.
Cool. And of course, then we've got campaign system for Saga.
Yeah, just out today. Yeah, it's selling like hotcakes, as they say.
Well, yes, unsurprisingly, really. I suppose I think a few people have been waiting that for a while, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. It's nice to add a new string to the Saga bow, as it were, just to keep moving the system on. You can't always be bringing out new factions because eventually you run out of history. So it's just nice to be able to change the way the game is played and just allow people a bit more freedom within the system.
Yeah. And just generally, how have you found the show today?
As ever, Salute is a whirlwind from start to at least mid-afternoon, where we get to take a breath and do the occasional interview.
As I say, it looks like we've just been wandering past on the outside, and every time we've wandered past, you've been absolutely rammed.
Yeah. I mean, our customers, we're very grateful to them because they always pre-order, and so we have. It would be a lot harder if we didn't have so many customers that pre-order before the show.
Yeah.
But we've been busy all day, and that's the way we like it, frankly.
Cool. So good to see lots of stuff on the horizon. So lots more plastic boxes to look forward to.
Yes, yeah. And I might even actually sculpt something fairly soon as well.
Really? I get back into that.
Know. I am. As I say, new dad, so time's at a premium. But things are changing on the home front, so I might actually get a bit of time to do some work. So
fantastic!
You never know. I'm not going to promise anything, but I've got a pack or two of Mofo in mind. But I can't make any promises because obviously I'm not in charge of releases, and Saga's got momentum at the moment. So, but we shall see.
Fantastic. Well, whatever you produce, mate, you've always done a good job in the past. I look forward to what you do in the future.
Thank you very much.
It's been great to catch up with you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah, and let's say thanks for chatting.
Cheers.
Of course, it was Stuart from Great Escape Games. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Hey, Neil. How you doing? I'm doing really well.
Had a good day?
It's been bonkers today. It's been nuts. Yeah.
Which I suppose is a good thing for Salute, isn't it?
Well, it's a great thing, especially as we launch the Chicago Way today.
Indeed, yeah. The big thing. Obviously, you've been it's all been out on social media over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Well, it's much like Dead Man's Hand. It's sort of an evolution from Dead Man's Hand. So that sort of era of cinematic style skirmish gaming lends well to the Dead Man's Hand sort of rule set. So we transpose that onto 1920s Prohibition era, and using the same sort of game engine with a few tweaks and changes, a completely new set of cards, loads of new gangs, vehicles. We've added civilian rules into it, and we've put in a fast play campaign system into the Chicago Way as well.
Yeah. Okay, so has the entire range been, or a lot of the range been launched today?
A lot of the range has been launched today. There's going to be a few extra packs coming afterwards.
Okay.
We've launched the initial stage of the Chicago Way building set from Foreground as well. So there are 8 buildings released today.
Oh, cool.
There are going to be more, as you would expect.
Yep.
And over the next few weeks, we've got a few releases, scenery-wise and figure-wise, for the Chicago Way.
Yeah. So you start off with 4 faction packs to begin with?
Yes.
Yes.
Four vehicles, the rules, markers, template, and then in the Foreground range there are 8 buildings.
Fantastic stuff. And so main rules retail for
20 quid.
20 quid, and that includes.
That includes
everything
everything you need. It's got your deck of cards in it. It's got a campaign poster as well, A3 poster where you can do. It's got a campaign map on it.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Which is a cool little extra addition.
Uh-huh.
And it's flying out. It's doing really well.
Fantastic.
The demo game here has been bonkers all day. Mark's been stuck to it every single minute of the day. He's had a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And okay, so obviously big launch with Chicago Way. But obviously that's not the only thing you've got going on at the moment.
No, absolutely. So, we've just released another gang for Dead Man's Hand, which is Daughters of the West, which is sensibly attired, proper female gunfighters.
Cool.
Which you don't see that many of around. You see some preposterous female gunfighters around in various ranges, and that's fine. And if people want to do that, that's great. We wanted to do some that reflected the movies that we like to watch.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of movies with female gunfighters. Okay, some of them aren't great. Some of them are really good though, and we wanted to have that reflected in a Dead Man's Hand gang. And I think it's a really cracking set of figures.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last thing I painted, in fact, and I really enjoyed it.
Cool. And Iron Cross going on?
Iron Cross is going fantastic. We've had a big game on today at Salute.
Yeah, look good. I saw that.
Yeah, over the Foreground table. Currently, I'm right into doing Desert War stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm building up more and more, building up my Italian force. The Italian tanks have been performing miraculously, except when they come up against Matildas, as you would expect. So we've been playtesting a lot of scenario stuff for the Desert War.
Great. Okay. So, can you give us any idea of when we're likely to see that?
I wouldn't like to preempt the author because he's working on it right now. He has said that his aim is for the summer. To have that ready.
Oh, cool.
So what I think that means is has that ready for us to then turn into a publication.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be out this year sometime.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for that because Desert War's a period that really lends itself to that sort of tank warfare that you can do with Iron Cross really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems the other thing is that, say, from a publication side of things, Great Escape is really taking off on that side of things as becoming a publishing house for other authors, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. So Sword and Spear has been a really successful seller for us.
Cool.
And we've got it out there into the wider market so that you can now go to shows and you can go to various retailers and they'll be stocking Sword and Spear. We've spoken with the author Mark Lewis, and what we want to do next is publish his next set of rules, which is Sword and Spear Fantasy. So we're looking at doing that later this year as well.
That's been going lots and lots of playtesting on that recently.
Yeah.
So, cool. Good stuff. So lots of stuff to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent stuff, and it's been a good show.
Yes, it's been a great show, and you need to stop by the demo game and have a wee look.
Yes, we'll do.
Especially at the lovely buildings and the lovely terrain board we've done.
I must admit, I did before I came to chat. I did have one server and comment.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, Stuart, thanks a lot for your time, and glad it's been a good day.
Cheers, Neil. It's been great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, I finally managed to catch some time with Neil from Spartan Games. Hello, Neil. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well, chap. How are you?
I'm well, mate. You seem to have been a bit of a busy beaver today.
Yeah, my knees are hurting. Actually, I'm getting too old for it. I'm too old and fat to stand up at Wargames shows all day. but apart from that, I'm all right.
You had a good day.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm terrible at shows anyway because I always prefer to be at work, just trying to do stuff. But the guys dragged me down and said, get get your backside to salute. But no, it's been good fun. It's always nice. I mean, I think it's always good to engage with people and just chat about what your games are doing, because the only way to get it right is when they tell you you're getting it wrong or you're getting it right. And then I think that that interaction. And then, let's face the beauty of Wargamers, they'll always give you feedback. They'll always tell you something, Yeah. So it's just really nice to kind of get that interaction, that chat, and also just to watch people kind of walk up to the table and then suddenly realise that a model that they'd heard about or a game, but then they'd never seen, and then they kind of go, oh my god, look at the size of that! Oh, look at that! Oh, I must have it, and that's really nice. And then they go up to one of our model makers and shake their hands and say, well done for making it, and it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
Yeah. Well, and you got a couple of things nobody's seen before here today. I mean, let's start with the game that we already know about. Right. So first off, with the game we became familiar with, which is Halo Fleet Battles, and this year you brought along just a slightly bigger carrier.
It's only a little one, isn't it? Really.
Well, we did. When we went to Gen Con last year, because obviously we showed everything first at Salute, British company, do the thing, fly the flag and all that, and we showed the game off, and then we started sort of like, we shipped in July, and then we went to Gen Con, first time we'd ever been there.
How was it?
Big, full of people, full of wargamers, noisy, some amazing companies there that I'd never ever seen before, some fantastic stuff, and little old Spartan Games tucked in the middle of it so we took the big long night of Solace. The thing I love about the model is that the guys, instead of just making a diorama piece, we made it to be in scale with the game.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So in the video game it's 29 kilometres. So one of the guys at Microsoft 343 said to us, bet you can't make Long Night of Solace. So one of my guys,
was that a bit of a challenge then, was it?
I think so, yeah. I think it was kind of one of those kind of, prod him until he does something. Anyway, one of my lads, Martin, said, well, we can do that. So 3 weeks later, we built Long Night of Solace. Then we had to ship the bloody thing over there. That was hilarious. I remember sort of like sitting at the show thinking, has my spaceship arrived? It was quite funny. But anyway, good fun. We couldn't come back to Salute because Fleet Battles has gone gangbusters for us. We've got a lot more models come out for it. We've got a huge amount more coming out. And then I was like, got to bring Long Night Solace back. Put it on the table with all the other ships and just let people have a look at it, which is kind of cool. And again, as I say, in scale with the rest of the ships, which is also fun. We're probably going to be a Forerunner type thing next for the next big spaceship. It'll be interesting when we get to the Guardians from Halo 5, because they'll be good. They'll be good fun on the tabletop. And some of those ships are big.
Yeah.
Some of those are big. I think we worked out one of the ones that Microsoft wanted us to make is 7 foot tall.
So you're going to need a bigger venue.
Yeah, I'm going to need a step ladder to get to the top of the bugger. That's for certain.
So Fleet Battles has been good for you this year?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a fun project. I mean, it's sort of I think when you came down to play it with us, it's one of those funny ones where you're working within the confines of the canon and the storyline, so you've got to be very respectful of this thing that you don't own, but you've equally got to go back to them and say, we really like it if we can make X, Y and Z. And do you know what, fortunately for us, there's this whole bunch of wargamers at 343, and they were like, yeah, sure, as long as you don't break it. So they worked with us and we came up with design ideas, and it's ticking along beautifully. We sort of, and then we introduced because we announced the ground game at the same time. We said we were doing it, and then there was we're going to have it at Salute next year. So in amongst progressing Fleet Battles, we were developing the ground game,
and lo and behold, it is.
And developing Task Force for Firestorm and moving everything. So we've been busy bunnies.
Well, as I say, I mean, we're just looking at like all the stuff the news you've been putting out, and it's like, okay, well, we're revamping Armada, and we're revamping Dystopian Wars, and then we're revamping Planetfall, and it's like, okay, you seem to be like you're really going for it at the moment.
Yeah, we're trying to reinvent time and space. As in, we're trying to get days to become 30-hour days as a de facto now. No, I think the lucky thing is I've got some great guys who work alongside me who they shoulder the burden with me, which is fantastic. So the model makers get off and do their things. Sure, we'd like to do some stuff quicker, but it's not always. We're not always going to be able to get it out as fast as we want to do, but we tend to try and hit our deadlines.
That's always going to be within the hobby, though, isn't it? That's the pressure that you feel from customers, is it? Because they always want more, don't they? And they always want it yesterday if they can have it.
I think that's why I'm a wargamer, because I'm like that myself. No, I think the issue with it for us is a lot of the time is just trying to keep the sales channel stoked enough that they're okay with it. Because at the end of the day, there's a bunch of people behind us who've got to make money out of this hobby as well. We make the stuff, and then these guys have got to keep their stores open, they've got to get their distribution channels going. So you kind of got to work with them to
and
get
it's
that.
nice to give the kids a nice new pair of shoes once in a while as well.
Well, I think they can get used to walking in bare feet. I'm from Yorkshire, mate. We never get shoes.
Lucky. I was lucky.
Yeah, lucky. Exactly. We used to live in garden, it's skip. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, you got to keep busy. You got to keep trying to move it along. Also, you got to stoke it with the right product, because you can't just spam it with anything. You got to kind of try and make sure that you're not just doing it for the sake of it.
No, you're actually bringing real content to it rather than just doing it.
Yeah, so if you look at Dystopian Wars, that game has been the most ridiculously successful thing for us over the last 5 years. Over 600 models out, millions of objects sold, played all over the world, huge numbers of fleets, and you kind of got this enormous thing. So we kind of stepped backwards, and we'd actually we lost a little bit of control of it. Now, control's the wrong word, but we lost a little bit of impetus for about 18 months back, whereby I wasn't progressing the statistics and things forward at the pace I needed to.
Yeah.
So we sort of stepped back, took a look at it, tried to figure out where we got some of those things a bit wrong, made some tweaks, and then thought, right, what do we do now? How do we now move this juggernaut forward? Because it is a huge game. And then, so we're trying to work out, we've been working out, what to do next. Do we do another rule book? Maybe. Do we mod the rule book? And And then a lot of guys are saying to us, especially at Gen Con last year, I've got 5,000 points of Prussians. I want to play it quicker. I can't play all afternoon. I still want to have the nuance of the game. I still want it to be Victorian super science fiction, and I still want to have my Tesla weapons or whatever. But I'd like some of my life back, please.
Yeah, I think this is something that we've discussed many times on the podcast, and we're seeing it throughout the hobby, aren't we? Where people are cash strapped and they're also time strapped, and that involves them actually from painting models even to just playing the game as well.
Yeah, I don't want to dumb it down for the sake of dumbing down.
No.
But what we've looked at, and the reason that we ended up delaying the fast play rules from the last release was we hadn't been able to plough through enough of the statistics in a way that we were happy.
Yeah.
And if we'd pushed it out, we'd have pushed it out with stats that were okay.
I wouldn't say it was dumbing down, I'd say it's streamlining. Really.
Yeah, I think, we sort of, the engine will be fine for those people. It won't be everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people like the granularity. So for those people, it's like I said with Task Force, if you like Firestorm, keep playing Firestorm.
Yeah.
But if you want to play a bigger game faster, try Task Force. We also had a lot of our vanguards who were saying to us, sometimes getting new people into a hobby, you just want something that's a bit like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
So we did Task Force, which is bang, bang, bang sort of thing.
Yeah.
And again, get them in, let them play with it, they can get excited over the models, and then, if after 3 or 4 weeks they stop playing it because they suddenly see the shiny Firestorm 2.0 or whatever, play that. You got the same set of models, it's one set of investment, do what you want with it.
Yeah.
It's
a good idea.
It's not for me to come along and screw you into the ground and what you got to buy. We've never done that. We never will.
So
I'll get off my soapbox now.
It's valid points.
Yeah, it's valid. That's it. Now, there's a couple of things that obviously are kind of brand new today.
Well, you like my new T-shirt? Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I'm very fetching in it.
Always a great picture of man.
I was wondering why you were getting too close to me. Yeah, you stop it there, boy.
Right, first of all, I was just as soon as I saw it, I thought I recognise this. Something you call Project Gotterdammerung,
yeah.
which is 6mm kind of 1946, 47-ish?
About 48, yeah. Basically, when Dystopian was, we did the whole thing whereby we took world history and we kind of like knocked it off tangent a bit, off kilter, and rewrote it so that world history changed and weird technologies happened, blah, blah, blah. So we thought, what would happen with World War II if we basically messed about with it, rewrote it. A lot of the super weapons came out, all of the things like Ratters and the jet fighters and the crazy stuff. But then we thought, try a game engine that's very different to something else, something other games we've done, which is a lot more fun, lighter, more board game orientated in terms of the engine feel, as opposed to necessarily a war game feel. And then that we then would. And then what really drove it was the fact that I challenged one of my guys to make me a 6mm tank that had the detail of a 28mm tank, and when the little sod did it, I couldn't stop myself, so I made some more. Then I made some more. Then I made some more. Yeah. And then they all sat at my desk, and you saw them sat at my desk. I saw them sat at your desk
and thought. I seem to remember having the conversation of, why don't you do these? Why don't you market these commercially? You're going, oh no, these are mine.
Yeah. And then anyway, eventually enough people said to me, for God's sake, Neil, why? Will you just do something with it? So Derek, in between the calm down moments on Halo Ground, he ran away with the rules, and then I got some more models made. We started making the 6mm aircraft, and we started making the buildings, and then we found a Wargames group that said that they would do some testing and development stuff for us. So those guys, we gave them 300 tanks and said, off you pop.
Oh right.
So they off they popped. And it's. I mean, I brought it because, it's just because I love it doesn't mean other people will love it.
But there's a good chance they will.
Well,
if you like it, other people probably will.
Yeah, so we brought it along, and I just wanted to. I wanted to talk to people about it. I wanted to, I didn't kickstart it or anything like that. I just thought, what, I've had this idea and I love it. So let's just see what everybody. And I know you like the models.
Oh yeah, very pretty.
So I thought, here we go.
Best 6mm Tiger tank I've ever seen.
I want to know how a Tog manages to penetrate anything on that great big lump in the middle of the table there.
It uses harsh language.
I don't even ramming would do any good.
No, it wouldn't. It's crazy. What are you going to do with a Scharnhorst turret? Stick it on a tank? No, it's a bit crazy. I love it. It's a fun game as well. It's got one of those there's some fun game mechanics in it whereby you're using your luck against the opponent, which is quite good fun. So I quite like the idea that I'm winding my opponent up while I'm playing as well, which is always a giggle. We brought it here, let people have a look at it and get some feedback, fill some feedback forms in, and then I'll just turn it into a product. I mean, it's actually not it's not that difficult for me to do that because we've done a lot of the donkey work already, and we're in a quite an exciting time with Halo, which has freed me up a little bit of time. And before my guys go back onto some of their Firestorm model making schedule, they'll make me a few more models. We'll figure out the box sets. Derek will finish the rules, and wham bam.
Cool. And of course, we've been talking about, but we've avoided the elephant in the room.
There's an elephant. I think that elephant looks particularly nice from this angle.
Indeed, yeah. As long as it doesn't do a boo piece, it will be fine.
We're fine.
Okay, right, so Halo Ground.
Yes.
So, first time out in the real world today.
Yeah.
Having been previewed and stuff. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it last year, obviously with the fleet battles.
Yeah.
And the plan was always to get it out as fast as we could. The 343 guys have been very helpful in kind of like helping us create the ground game and working through the rules. So it actually accelerated to the point whereby we felt confident enough to bring it to Salute.
Yeah.
And to pre-sell it. Have you seen my nice 54mm figures, by the way?
I haven't seen the 54mm versions, but I've only seen the pictures. I'm going to have a look at the.
Yeah, let me just see if I can. We should get you some 54mm to look at because they are rather special. So we thought we'd do a pre-order, give the models away, we've done the tagline shipping in the summer. If you remember, we did that with Fleet Battles.
Yes.
And then we shipped into July. Say no more.
Say no more.
Cool. So we're very excited. It's sort of there was a few questions about, why did you do 1/100 scale? Well, if you take a look at the Pelican over there, that's why we did it in 1/100 scale. Things like Pelicans and Scarabs and Covenant Phantoms and other stuff is sensible.
So you've actually got a table you can actually play it on most people.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've all seen what it looks like if you try and do it in 28mm on a 6x4, and it just does. It just.
Well, it becomes the 6x4.
Yeah.
It becomes a terrain piece.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty cool innovative mechanics in the game that we're very proud of, and the aerial stuff is an important aspect of the game. Mission drop. You kind of got ground attacks and weapon drops and infantry upgrades and dropping in. Well, those things. Pelicans can carry Scorpion tanks for Lord's sake. So there's all of that kind of stuff. Plus you got wraiths and ghosts and banshees and Wolverines and Grizzlies, and there's all sorts of stuff from Halo Wars, and we're pretty excited by it all. Derek has done a cracking job on the engine for me, and I'll take all full credit. You realise, but of course. It's a bit of a giggle. I have a game. I think you'll enjoy it. We made a map we made a game board based on Reach from one of the areas of that, one of the ice packs, and it's quite nice to watch the game and then suddenly watch people walk past and go, oh my, it's Halo, and then they stop in their tracks and go back and have another look, which is pretty cool. So we are we're off and rolling, so that'll be out, cool. And I'd very much recommend people come back for Salute next year to see what we do with this, because I know what's coming out at Salute next year, and it's going to...
you tease.
Oh, I know.
Dangles a carrot and puts it back in the bag.
Oh, it's a bag of bloody carrots, this one. It's not just a carrot. It's a whole bag of them. You're going to love it. It's wicked.
Cool.
So, we're chuffed to bits. We're very, very pleased. Very excited. Hard work. All my boys work hard. I just lounge around doing nothing, you understand.
Yeah.
I don't work 7 days a week. Oh, hang on a minute. Yes, I do. Oh. That went wrong, didn't it?
Oh, never mind.
So much for that easy life.
I was going to say so much for the retirement. Yeah, well, Neil, it's been great to speak to you.
No, you too,
always good. And I wish you well with everything. As I say, it's got so much going on and it looks great.
Yeah, we've got a good space here, haven't we? It's pretty cool. Very exciting. As ever, a pleasure, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Well, finally managed to catch up with Rich from Steamforged Games. Rich, here we are at a much bigger Guild Ball stand than what I seem to remember seeing before.
Yeah, this is a much bigger size. We've spent a lot of money on this to try and create a real presence at the show, so we're super happy about what's on now.
So, where were we? UK Games Expo last year.
Yes.
We launched Season 1?
Pretty much. We launched it at the Salute, but then the main kind of releases, we did quite a big thing at the Expo, so yeah. It's a year on, essentially, from there.
Yep. How's the year been? Because looking at social media, it looks like it's been pretty mental.
Crazy. Everything we've done has been fantastic. We're now launching direct to retail Season 2. The Hunters Guild and everything's come out today. The buzz has been outstanding. We haven't stopped all day our stand. It's been fantastic. And obviously we've just announced the news of Dark Souls, so that's also come as a big surprise to everyone. Everyone's amazing, can't wait for Tuesday when that goes up. So
yeah. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more first off about Guild Ball Season 2?
Yep.
And then about Dark Souls?
Absolutely. So Season 2 Guild Ball, it has got a brand new campaign system in it. So it shows you how to play in week in, week out in your clubs and leagues, and it helps support that. It's also got all the brand new releases, so new players, new veterans, the Hunters Guild, new mascots, so extends all the current rosters, bringing a new team into the game, changes the whole meta and how the thing plays, so people are really going to enjoy it. It's still Guild Ball, but it's going to change how, what you've experienced up to now. Having 2 captains for every team is making a big difference in what people can do.
Okay, so that's what's coming out as far as Guild Ball's concerned. Now, does the Season 2 book contain everything that you've got current planned, or is it more of a case of, this is Season 2, but we've got 2.5 and 3 already in the works?
So this is all Season 2, and that will last us till the end of the year.
Right, okay.
Season 3 has already been worked on. Like Guild Ball, it cycles through, and we have new models and that. So you're going to see stuff from January onwards for season 3. So yeah, this is all of season 2. It'll be available in global release by next Friday, Saturday. So it's going to be out then. And we're going to also put, as we do always, the rules are going to be free online. So you can go to our website, steamforged.com, download our rules, check it out, see what it is all about.
Now, I noticed you got to go over to the States this year as well.
We did. We've had a big trip. Yeah.
So how does fancy soccer go down in the States?
Battle soccer. Yeah, it's going really well. Like, we have been inundated with, like, we've managed to get in with the top 5 distributors in the States.
Oh, cool.
Which has made a huge difference. So we went to Gamma Trade Show, and that was solidified our nature with the retailers. We met a lot of the retailers, and they love the product. It managed to get all to the stores, and then a couple of weeks later, we went to Adepticon, and it just exploded. Like, it's amazing. So we cannot wait for Origins this year, because we're back over there for that.
Oh, cool.
And we're back over for Gen Con as well. So we've got a huge stand at Gen Con. First year there, we can't believe we've got it, but we have. So we just cannot wait for the States this year. It's a real big market for us, and really important to see our player base grow over there.
Yeah. Cool, good stuff. All right, so Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, huge license. So Namco, we've been working on it since October.
Yeah.
Working with Namco on it. Namco have been fantastic to work with as a licensing company. We're going to Kickstarter on Tuesday at 8 p.m. GMT. There are going to be some early bird pledges on there. From the feedback this weekend, it looks we've had the prototype demo available, one of the boss fights. The feedback's been incredible. We couldn't expect what it was. Everyone's saying it feels like Dark Souls. When people say we designed it from the ground up to be like it, sometimes you don't believe them. But, people honestly, we have done that, and people are giving us that feedback, saying this just absolutely plays like the game. It feels like the game. The feel of it, the grit there. It's you will die. That is the same, and it will happen. So.
No, as I say, it's right across your chest.
It's right, yeah. April 19th, Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT. Get the early bird pledges there, because they're going to go up quick. We've also got a big retail support happening in the campaign, so more details will come this weekend about that to the retailers. But we want to flip the head on Kickstarters and how they approach Kickstarters. So.
Yeah, so when are you looking to launch that actually into the wild?
So we're looking at a 12-month lead time.
Right. Okay.
So next April essentially is when you get the product.
Cool. So, finally, it sounds like Salute has been a really positive experience for you.
Absolutely amazing again. We're so happy with the programme and the show. It's our second year here, and it's compared to last year, it's just in another level, another league that we managed to get. So 12 months of our company to get to this stage, we couldn't be happier right now.
Fantastic. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk.
Thank you.
It's great to see how far you've come from. A couple of years ago when we were talking about the Kickstarter. And the original Kickstarter, you kind of go, well, we've got this great idea, but we're not quite sure how it's going to fly.
Exactly.
And here we are 2 years later. As I say, it looks like it's just going to
incredible.
Just taken off.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, mate. It's really good to see you doing really well. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. We've finally managed to get somewhere near the stand of Annie Norman. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
You've been round all day.
It's been crazy. Crazy good.
Good day.
Yes, I've almost sold out of all the Soviets.
Oh wow.
And I took a lot. So that's been ace. I've Shield Maidens, Boudica, all of my own figures have
Is that
just
all pre-orders
been flying out.
collected at the show, or actually people have actually bought fresh from the show?
There was a huge amount of pre-orders, but then I picked them all separately.
Yeah.
And then the full racks have all been emptied and refilled
really
and emptied.
Good then, if all that's going as well, the stuff you didn't even expect to sell.
Yeah, because the pre-orders alone were beating some of the shows from last year. The whole show, so
cool.
Today has been ace.
So what was your mystery product then?
It was ogres.
Ogres?
So I have 3 new ogres.
Yeah.
Who are called Hyacinth, Sasha, and Olive.
Oh wow!
So they're a little bit different.
Yes.
It's like with the orcs. I don't like to give them the traditional names that everyone uses from the orc name generator. And they are kind of wise old lady orcs as well, so I thought it would fit there. They're cast in resin, and you should check them out. So they'll be up on the website super soon.
Cool.
And I even have an ogre child being dragged along.
So, as I say, good show.
Yes, absolutely amazing.
Brilliant.
Just very shattered now.
Well, yes, it's one of these things. Go away for 2 weeks, recover.
Yeah,
And
well,
then,
no, go back and carry on with the madness. Might have tomorrow off, maybe. From there.
Yeah, but yeah, I suppose then it's a case of like mail order starts next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just catching up with the mail order and restocking everything because everyone's bought it.
And all those things that
Took
people
all my
were thinking
things.
about buying at Salute, and then decided to buy them off you now 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. And got the money now for lots more World War II sculpts.
Oh,
Yes,
fantastic!
Hooray!
Hooray! Great.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Well, we should look forward to seeing all the concepts in the next few weeks.
Yes, it's going to be ace.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
Glad you had a good show. Well, I'm here with a man who I appear to be following around the show for half the day. It's Joe from Miniature Wargames the Movie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing? You look like you've been, I mean, I'm okay. I'm only like having a microphone around. You've been carrying a camera rig all day.
Yeah, it's been a very, it's not a small little rig either, it's a whole body piece. So yeah, it's the back sore, but the crew's been absolutely amazing. Rob, our audio guy's been lugging around. I've been dragging them around from stall to stall. But yeah, it's been a great event. But just getting as many people and as many B-roll and things like that for the film as we can as possible, and picking up the interviews that we haven't been able to quite get to. People like Battlefront that obviously are based in New Zealand. We haven't been able to get out there. So yeah, getting them here. The same with Hawk. You know, it's just really, really good to get those interviews that we think are key. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So is this the first salute you've been to?
It's not mine for the film, yes, but not mine personally. My first was actually last year.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So when we started production on, when it was just a small idea, Salute was one of the places we came to for inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the film's now been in production for almost a year. So.
And how's it all going?
Yeah, really, really well. We've got 2 more weeks of filming. Next week we're with we're with Rick Priestley, Michael and Alan Perry and Alessio, and then we're also with Foreground. We're going to their facilities, and Andy, one of the main subjects in the film, we're taking him along, who's also a small independent miniature company. They're basically going to come and give him a bit of advice. So it was really, really great.
Yeah.
And then after that, we've got that of filming left, and then we go into post-production. So we'll start editing a film, putting a rough cut together, and getting it out because we've got composers. So the whole film's going to be composed. It's going to have its own score. So we've got to get that out as soon as possible. So getting a rough edit will be, crucial in the next month, really, to get that to our composer, and then. We've also got to get the edit over to so we can finally start colour grading, start making it into a film and not just lots and lots of footage. So we've got some amazing people that are helping with the edit. Sitting down, we've filmed probably now including today, probably over 200 hours of footage.
Oh wow! That's going to go into what, 90 minutes? Is
yes. So it's meant to be 90 minutes. We're looking maybe now, because originally it was designed for film festivals, we can now push it possibly to 2 hours.
Right. Okay.
It all depends, but 90 minutes would be best. Because for lots of reasons, really, merchandise, all that sort of things. We want to do a 20-minute mini documentary behind the scenes of the making that we also want to put it on the DVDs and stuff. So yeah, it's all kind of up in the air at the moment, but the film's got to be done and edited by the end of June. That's when it goes into film festivals. So between the end of June and the end of September is when we'll be sending out between 30 and 40 film festivals around the world.
Oh right.
So yeah, a huge
there's a lot of work in a very small amount of time.
Yes, exactly. So, but yeah, coming to Salute's been absolutely amazing.
How have you found the whole experience? I mean, how much film experience have you done before?
This is my first ever feature film.
Oh, right, okay.
So I've been producing. So I started film a long time ago. When I first was at school, I did media, and then kind of fell out of it. Just followed other things. I was into my arts. Started a business where I designed custom shoes, believe it or not.
Oh, right.
And I started producing video content for that business. And off that, I started a YouTube channel back probably This is 2008, so quite a few years ago when YouTube was quite young still.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was very, very lucky that I got quite a good audience, and I had a really, really good I had a lot of views, and I had a lot of people that wanted more content. So that's kind of how it started for me. And then I started producing more, and then I've got very, very lucky that I've got lots of friends that work in the industry and have done for a long time. A lot of friends that have worked for Channel 4, the BBC, and also people that have worked independent films over in America and LA. So I've been in the industry and I've gone and worked. But yeah, this is my first feature film.
How have you found it?
It's had its roads as triumphs. I think that's the best way of saying. It hasn't all been amazing times. The budget has been, working with a tight budget, because originally it was self-funded.
Yeah.
And then for people that don't know, we went to Kickstarter because I funded it up to a certain point and then realised it was a lot bigger, and I wanted it to be done as professionally as possible. So we raised we asked for £3,000 on Kickstarter, and we got 5,500 something.
Yeah.
So we got over, but that because we went over, we started doing things. We went to America.
Yeah.
We filmed in America with Battle Foam and Wild West Exodus guys, and then we flew to Canada and we filmed with Mini Wargamers, the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we got them, and we're going to Norway in a few weeks to follow the Tournament Gamers, the two guys that we're following. So we have been a bit, we're going all over and just travelling around the UK. We've been from Brighton to Bude to Nottingham to Birmingham to London. So it's all those things. So the budget has been very, very stretched, but we're trying to stay in budget, and at the moment we are. There's a few things that we thought we could get, things like colour grading that has actually become a lot more expensive, so now we're looking to do that in-house and getting people that are already working on the film that have got experience to possibly do that. It hasn't been all amazing, but the experience has been, and the community and the people that I've met, the whole industry have been absolutely amazing. Have been so open, and it's nice to see, when I go and people hear about a documentary and they get excited because nothing like this has ever been done. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it sounds like you've got your work really cut out in the next 2 or 3 months, but really looking forward to seeing the end product.
Brilliant.
And I hope it goes well for you.
Awesome, yeah. A quick plug for people that are listening. You can find the film Miniature Wargaming, themovie.com, or you can find us on Facebook, and you can just stay up to date if you want to see behind the scenes and where we're filming and things like that and what we're doing. We try to stay up to date as possible.
And can you still pre-order the DVD?
So at the moment, this is another thing. We're possibly looking to do another pre-sale. After the film's finished, so we won't be asking for money to finish making the film. It will be really to pre-sell it. The only reason is because we're looking to put it into film festivals. The reason we do this is for many reasons. We wanted to get it out, and we want it on the big screen. We want as many people to hear about it. But the problem with it, a lot of if a studio were to pick it up, they don't like it going out to the general public until after the film festivals.
Yeah, sure.
So, but also, if we wait for that could be a few years down the line when people can see it. So we're looking possibly at maybe running a pre-order, so people that have backed maybe through Kickstarter, we might do it through Kickstarter again, so people can get it, because the Kickstarter people will be getting it before it goes to film festivals. As simple as that. Cool. So that's one way we can get around it. But if not, it will be a little while after. It will be after next summer when we know what film festivals and we've done them. So to general public, we're probably looking at 2017 end of. For all the people that have already pre-ordered it and got it, they'll get it by at the latest December this year.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Joe, it's been great to chat. Glad you've enjoyed the day.
Yeah.
And all the very best with it, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, it's the end of the day at Salute, and I've finally managed to get somewhere near to the Wargames show, which your stand has just been rammed all day, and I'm with Dave from Warp.
Hi.
Hello, Dave.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. It's calm after the storm, kind of thing.
Well, your major victory, you got to the end of Salute, and you still have a voice.
I do, yeah. It's nice. I mean, 4-day shows like Gen Con, I can't speak at the end of those, and usually Salute, I'm flagging quite badly, but I'm doing all right now, which it feels nice.
Cool.
It's good. They've kept me coffeed all day.
Oh, it's
good.
I know, you're basically just high on caffeine.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how these things go. Yeah.
So how's it been?
It's been brilliant. I mean, it's been nice to show everybody all the drop fleet models because for most people, this is the first time they've had a chance to actually see them in the flesh. So, there were a hell of a lot of backers here who got a chance to see the models, and that was good.
Because that Kickstarter just took off, didn't it?
I did, yeah. It was crazy. I mean, wow. It was brilliant. It was hectic.
Yeah. So I remember last year we were just kind of talking about it. We got this idea to do it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was already about a year and a half in the works by last Salute, and then another year obviously from now, and I'm finishing off the last couple of ships. But it's been a long road, and there's been a lot of hours gone in, but I'm happy with the result. And
so looking good then.
Yeah, I think so. And Drop Zone's been really busy as well. I mean, that's all we're selling here today, and we've just been busy all day, and it's been great. We've got some new stuff out for that, and a new book out soon as well. So Drop Zone's still kicking very much. So it's kind of the two together now, which is why I've been so busy, because I'm working on 2 games rather than 1 now, which is all part and parcel of everything, really. But
obviously, one of the old attractions with Drop Fleet is that it just moves into Drop Zone, doesn't it? So it's then tying the two together, yeah?
Yeah. There's a very tangible link between both games, which is, it's Drop Fleet is orbital combat, and then Drop Zone is what's happened once your strike carriers have dropped the drop ships off. Really, you can link campaigns and things. There'll be rules for that in the Drop Fleet book.
So we just said, Drop Fleet went absolutely mental on Kickstarter. I mean, how was the whole experience, and how have you got on with it since?
Well, it was. I mean, we were expecting a certain amount of busyness. We weren't expecting anything like the response we got, especially really early on.
Yeah.
I mean, you always get people second guessing you on Kickstarter and trying to, say what it's like on the inside, but it was mad. I mean, because none of us really got any sleep for the last 3 or 4 days before the Kickstarter launched, and because of where Christmas was, we had a very finite deadline, because if it was any later, it's going to be too close to Christmas, and obviously that's not good for anyone. So it had to go live when it did, so we'd all burned ourselves to death, and then it just blew up. Like we hit our goal in the first 8 minutes, I think, something like that.
Wasn't it?
So it blew up, and then obviously you get a lot of people saying you should do this, you should do that, because it's blown up, and then we thought, well, no, let's go home and get some sleep. It's a 30-day campaign. Let's think about this, and then come out with something intelligent rather than knee-jerk. So no, I mean, it was crazy, and it was overwhelming really, but it was great, and we adapted to that quite quickly, and then there was a bit of madness right at the start, but after that I was very happy with the way the campaign went. And
so overall a positive experience.
Oh yeah, it's a very positive experience, and I mean, we couldn't. All the stuff we're doing for Drop Fleet is a much stronger game as a result of that Kickstarter. Oh, here we go. You've always got him. Not as annoying as the Gen Con person. The Gen Con person's worse.
Oh, really?
Attention, Gen Con attendees! I'm going to talk for 2 minutes about someone else's game. Yeah, anyone who's been there knows what I'm on about. It's like the most number one thing hated by everyone who exhibits at Gen Con is that guy, whoever he is. But so I mean, it was so many things we did on that Kickstarter we couldn't have done any other way, because it's all injection molded plastic done in the UK, which is frankly very expensive.
Yeah.
And I think we're making something like 16 separate injection molding tools off that Kickstarter.
Wow.
And that would be very, very difficult to do any other way. You just couldn't do it. And we could do extra things like the modular space stations, which have been hugely popular, and the launch assets pack as well, which was originally going to be, white metal and quite expensive, and we could do it in plastic and make it half the price it was originally going to be, which is great for everybody because it's easier to work with and it's cheaper for the players to buy. So everybody wins really, as long as you do a decent job on it. So it was a privilege to do so well on it, and we're very lucky to have the level of support that we got, and it was brilliant. But yeah, I mean, it's a great thing for Dropfleet, and it puts us in a fantastic position for the main launch. You know, we've already got like 4,000 players, like right there, bam. You know, it's brilliant.
So when is main launch? Can you remind us of that?
Well, we're aiming at the moment for delivery of Kickstarter between June and July kind of time, and then retail launch will be a little bit after that. So August, September. That's about what we're aiming for.
Just in time for Gen Con then?
Pretty much, yeah. Gen Con is the immovable object.
Yeah.
And we're trying to work around it. So obviously we'd like to pre-release at Gen Con.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we really want to deliver to backers first. So it's, you know, that's part of this experience. You can't move the shows, and you have to work around them. But you know, we're on schedule from our end at the moment, and it's all UK. So you know, we'll see. But I don't like to speak early on these things. But you know, it's all going to plan for us so far. So
brilliant. Well, you know, Dave, thanks for your time. It's been great to catch up again.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And all the best in the future, and we look forward to seeing Dropfleet.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
I must get through to Sergeant Watson's position. Jenkins, cover me.
Sir.
Whoa. Sergeant Watson, bring your men in. Withdraw. It's all right, sir. We're enjoying ourselves. What? Yes, sir. It's these here chain of command rules, sir. We're having great fun. Chain of command? That's right, sir. It's that challenging but fun blend of command and control. It gives me the freedom I want to fight the way I want to. Never had so much fun, sir. And we've cooked you some sausages. Can't be helped, sir. Me and the lads are staying put. Chain of Command World War II platoon level rules from two fat lardies. They really put you in control. And they're even better than sausages.
So, that was just a snippet of Salute 2016. We quite purposely kind of grabbed some time with traders, whilst at the same time not wishing to take up an awful lot of their time, because as you can imagine, it's quite a busy day for a lot of people. And apologies for some of the background noises, especially getting towards the end where you start hearing things like people dismantling stands and what have you. It really got to a point of try and grab some interviews even when the show was actually officially over, and David wandered off because he thought I'd abandoned him and stuff like that. Did you, Dave?
Wandered off? No, I don't know what you're on about.
But anyway, so hopefully you got some idea of a flavour of who was at the show. Although we did a load of interviews, there's just so much stuff we never ever got round. So many people just didn't get a chance to speak to. People I was looking out for who I never found. We were hoping to speak to Nick at Eureka about, especially since we'd found out that they got they've actually officially got a license to do Hawkmoon figures, and just never came across him. I was hoping to speak to Chris at Modifius about the Actum Cthulhu game, because they had that there. They missed him completely. It's one of those shows, isn't it? There's just so much there. It's actually quite difficult to.
It is remarkably easy to miss things, and come back at the end of the show, sit down with your pile of swag, and think, "Oh, nuts!"
Indeed, indeed, and then look at some of the photos that people start posting up and kind of go, "I didn't see that.
Where was that?
Yeah, what was that there?" I'm sorry. The gang's all here, and welcome back to Mr. Hobbs, back from a week sunning himself in parts foreign.
Filthy rotten swine.
Who's obviously on mute.
Or having a sulk.
No, I was on mute.
Oh, some things never change.
Welcome back.
Wondering why you were talking over me. So uncouth. I'm trying to talk here. Yes, I'm back. I'm back from Portugal. It rains.
Hey, it rains. What, in the bar?
No, luckily the bar was dry.
Bit of
Oh,
Peninsular
no,
War
the bar
research?
was dry. Or did you drink it dry?
No, I didn't drink that much apart from my birthday. We started off with a bottle of champagne.
And went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
So, do any Peninsular War site visiting?
No.
Oh!
No. We went on the bottom in the Algarve.
All right.
Yeah, but we did go up into the mountains. That was quite nice. Had some nice food. Drank some very nice wine.
I've just booked 2 weeks in Williamsburg over Independence Day weekend, so I have a nasty feeling I shall probably come back inspired for yet another sharp practice army.
That'll be good. I don't know. So, for those of us who weren't at Salute, what were your general thoughts? I mean, was it as busy as last year? Was it quieter? Was it?
Oh, it was busy. Really busy, wasn't it? I thought it was anyway.
It stayed busy longer than most shows do, but I think that's normal for Salute. There was still there was still quite a crowd milling around various places at 2, 3 o'clock. Whereas if you went to somewhere like Partisan, you can basically walk around any stall you like and get the stall holders' undivided attention at 3 o'clock. In fact, if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, they've already started packing away.
Yeah.
I mean, we certainly noticed it because we actually looked at each other and commented on it that about 2 o'clock, me and Dave looked at each other. Is it getting busier?
It did, didn't it? It did get busier.
Well, I think some people, if you're either smart enough to do pre-orders or you're not after stuff that's going to sell out, there is a definite case for not turning up till lunchtime and beating the queue.
Yeah, I mean, right from the start, for example, two things that were very noticeable. First off, they organised the queue very well this year. We got there just before 10, didn't we, Luffy?
Yeah,
I think it was. And basically, we turned up with our press armbands and said, "Oh no, press door was closed. You're going to have to fight your way through the queue." I was like, "Oh, okay, great, thanks." And turned up, and the queue was basically massively shrinking, even at like 10:05. So, I mean, I've seen a couple of pictures of of it all snaking backwards and forwards, or what have you. But they got people into the show very quickly and efficiently this year. So that was actually pretty well organised.
That was good.
So I think basically by about, I would suggest probably by about 10:15, anybody who, even if they'd come at the back of the year, I mean, I think probably didn't take much more than 5 or 10 minutes to get in the show for anybody, and especially once you get to about 11 o'clock, it was just turn up and walk in.
That's good.
Yeah, so if you've not got stuff that you've forgot to pre-order and you really desperately need before it sells out, or you're desperate for something, one of the limited edition first 200 only kind of things, then there's not much point in turning up at 10. Because all you're going to be doing is standing in a queue.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of a lull around 1-2 for a bit, but I thought it picked up a little bit in the afternoon. We certainly, because I think Ruben's comment, I was working PE2 collectibles for the day when I wasn't popping around and spending far too much money, was that quite a lot of what happens is that people spend the morning wandering around and making their mind up, and the afternoon taking a very deep breath and going and spending money.
Yeah. Talking of spending money, there was a little photograph.
I'll let the lightweights go first.
Yeah, I was going to say there was various photographs. One was very disappointing, which was just a laser pointer, I think, Neil.
It was indeed a laser pointer.
Yeah, I treated him.
Yeah, which I didn't even buy.
Yeah, I loved it. What you put up on Twitter, saying about that. And I thought you hadn't even buy it. What are you on about?
No, I didn't.
Luffy bought it for you.
Well, it was an exchange. It was a laser pointer for two Stuarts.
Yeah.
Buy one get one free, was it? Okay, so there was 2 laser pointers bought, and Dave, you bought some glue.
Well, yeah.
He attempted to buy some glue.
Yeah, from Will, wasn't it?
It was.
Bless him.
Bless him. And yes, it was. Yes. Thank you, Will. Most kind.
Yeah. I'd had the money in my hand and everything.
And he wouldn't take it?
He wouldn't take it, bless him. He says,
oh,
nah,
bless,
don't worry
bless
about
his
that.
little cotton socks.
I'm like, crikey. Yeah.
Which just leaves Mr. Whitaker, who posted a very interesting picture of 2 very stuffed Foundry bags.
Well, hey, does that mean I've got to do a shout out actually now that my paint is, not my paint, my glue is now actually sponsored by the Plastic Soldier Company?
Probably, yes. Speaking of shout-outs, and I'm sure it'll please him, I ran into 2 guys on Canning Town station platform who turned out to be Meeples listeners, so sorry I didn't catch your names, the 2 guys from Luton.
Poor guys. Someone's got to do it, I suppose.
But thanks for the thanks for the chat. Hope you had a good day.
Actually, it was not. Actually, noticed well that we actually didn't bump into many listeners this year.
I had the advantage over you in being in a fixed place for at least 70% of the time, so I ran into a few more.
Oh, cool, good. I mean, it was a case of we bumped into a couple and managed to say hello to Mervyn. Hello, Mervyn.
Yeah, I ran into Mervyn. He was plying me with chocolate and elves.
Chocolate?
Yes.
Mervyn, where's my chocolate?
It's probably hidden underneath that cake you scoffed last time you met Mervyn.
He could have paid me in chocolate, or maybe the cake was advance payment. That was it.
Yeah,
that's all right. I had a tiger tank for Mervyn, so we did that. And but yes, we actually bumped into Mr. Whitaker during one of his
unscheduled shopping stops.
Unscheduled shopping stops. Yes, indeed.
To be fair,
what have you bought, Mike?
Well, to be fair, I did actually pick up most of the things I planned to pick up. In that I got the Catherine the Great off Annie, which I'd arranged. I picked up my Warbases order, and then foolishly bought more stuff that I then don't have bases for.
Did you get any horses?
No, I forgot the bloody horses.
Oh, mate, how do you think the horses?
Bought the Sharp Practice Wagons bundle, and thought when I got home and saw Matt Slade's really lovely pictures of them painted up, some horses would have been a good idea.
You've just got to do another order now.
I've just got to do another order, yeah. Popped by Lord S and the boys, picked up Age of the Wolf and a box of those lovely Romano-British plastics. This box right here. It's very nice. Haven't done anything with them yet. Also popped by a few places that I was sort of planning on looking at, like Redoubt, who unfortunately haven't brought any of their Napoleonic range with them. So, sadly, guys, you lost a sale there. So I went to Elite for a couple of their female Napoleonic character figures, which I was planning to do anyway. Then went to Offensive, which is a really amusing name for a company. You sort of expect all their figures to be raising a finger at you or something. They've got some lovely 95th rifle sculpts, which I picked up some of. I had a brief skim by by&nbsp, because Footsore have some new Dark Age Christian priests out, and I yielded to temptation there. And then I hit Foundry, which was very painful.
Yes, we were there for the Foundry experience.
Well, they had some of the old Perry sculpted British Light Infantry.
Well, the American War of Independence ones?
No, the Peninsular ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which are lovely little sculpts.
They are.
And I spent 70 quid on British Forces for Foundry.
And that's for Sharp Practice too, is it?
That will be for Sharp Practice too, yes.
And
then, very foolishly, I asked if they'd got any Spanish guerrillas, and they said no, it wasn't in the range. Happened to mention this to Graham, who was helping run PE2 Guidable Stall, and when he next went off for a wander, he came back having been to Eagle Figures and said, "You really want to go and check out their Spanish guerrillas?" So
they're the ones we were talking about a while ago, weren't they?
Yes, they're very nice. They're very, very nice. As are their Spanish. Yes, I did. I also bought 24 Spanish line as well.
Oh, lovely.
Word.
They're really nice. I'm currently eyeing, but it's not going to happen this month,
there are some very nice choices for the Portuguese as well. I might pick up some Cacadores. Cacadores! It's a good.
So you know this bonus you were meant to have? Have you just spent it?
No.
He's spending the next one.
You haven't seen the Amazon share price.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It spent the last couple of weeks going through the roof, which is... oh, God, yes, it has. Wow, it's gone up again. Yay! Basically, no. A sizable chunk of the bonus will be going to Gareth, though.
To paint it all?
Hell yeah. My eyesight is not up to doing Napoleonic braid and lacing justice. It will be a shame to put such lovely sculpts into my ham-fisted hands.
I do have a question, because I thought about this afterwards and thought, whilst the Foundry Perry sculpts are lovely, is there any particular reason why you bought those as opposed to a plastic box set?
Yes, very much so. The 95th I've got are a combination of Offensive and Alban, and they're all fairly slim and fairly realistically proportioned. The Foundry Perrys are, relatively speaking, they're quite small, and they're not that chubby. If you compare them to your typical Warlord or Perry plastic, which really, to be honest, looks like a 36mm figure that's had a brick set in its head until it shrank down to 28, 29 or 30 mil. They're much more slight. I'm basically having gone...
Oh, so basically Perry's have changed their sculpting style over the years.
The Perry Foundry ones are quite small, relatively speaking, and even if even if within the same, even if you put the rifles from Alban or Offensive with the Foundry side by side, they're at least of a height, even if the Albans are still a little slimmer. And the reason I went for the Albans is they're one of the only two people who do a Sharp and a Harper character figures from the original, because they did some sculpts to the original Sharp Practice rules. And I managed to nab a set on the Lardy list a couple of weeks ago, which I'm very pleased with. Also, Owen from the Lardy's list is sending me the Hagman figure, which he's got two of.
Oh, cool.
So if anybody is listening and still has the Alban Miniatures, Harris, or Sergeant Hawkswell figures, please let me know, because they're rather hard to come by because they stopped trading in January because, is it Paul, who used to run Alban Miniatures, has a life and a job and really hasn't had time to do it justice, so sadly he stopped doing it. And those, I'd love to get my hands on those two figures if they were available anywhere. And that was it. Well, it would have been it, except that Ruben talked me into going back to Tablescape to have another look at their lovely Mediterranean scenery.
Oh, you didn't?
I did.
Hang on, you were saying, I'll hang on and wait to that when we were speaking at Foundry.
Yeah, I did, and then I changed my mind. It's glorious. It's also ridiculously light. That second carrier bag is full of the Tablescape stuff, and it practically floated away.
So when you say it was a bit of an accident,
but yeah, tragic accident.
What was this? Made up for what we didn't spend? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much, yes.
Right. Okay.
Good man. That's what I like to see.
And I have been displayed commendable restraint on my next two plans for Sharp Practice as well.
Well, I mean, we did want to. We did want to spend more money.
Of course you did.
And indeed, on the way down, we were having a discussion and kind of went, oh yeah, and you know, at one point I did kind of say, do you think we should have pre-ordered? And we looked at each other, and no, he's bound to have what we want.
No. Martin's a busy man. There was a point, particularly for anything non-standard, where it was pre-order or.
Yeah.
So what were you buying?
Some bases for Sharp Practice, mate.
Oh, right.
All right. Okay. Well,
yeah. That that was the plan.
But that's what you get. That's why, as I said, I dropped an advance order in with Warbases on I think Tuesday, and then bought far more things than I have bases for. Fortunately, my 28s are mostly being based on pennies, so that's not too hard. It's just that I have no cavalry bases, and I haven't quite decided how I'm basing the cavalry yet.
Oh, do them on pill shaped?
The plan is to do them on pill, and probably to ask Warbase to produce me some of their pill movement trays, but with the holes for the magnets, and stick some steel paper on the bottom of the pills, so everything's magnetised.
Mike, do you want some pill bases?
No, it's all right. I've got to place a Warlord order anyway, a Warbases order anyway, and I need to get the trays to be drilled for magnets. So
okay, did I tell you my little faux pas on my last?
Go on, what did you do?
What I discovered, right, is never do a Warbases order when you're about to go out. Right?
Because you'll forget something, or you'll order the wrong thing.
No, so we're getting ready to go out. I think his wife's mother's birthday or something. So I went upstairs thinking, I've got to do the Warbases order, which I've written down. And it was like, I need X amount of these. I thought, and I also need 8 bases for cavalry. I thought, just to try out. It's the cavalry that you use, Neil, for them.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The ones that died horribly.
Yeah, that's the ones, yeah. I thought, I'll just get 8.
Yes, fine bodies of men.
Yeah. I thought, I'll get 8 of them. And I'll get two Sabo bases for them to fit in, and then I can try them out, and if I don't like them, I can do something else. Right, so do all the order, bang, bang, bang. Wife's downstairs yelling at me, because we're a bit late.
Nothing new there, then.
No, nothing there. So I'm on the site, there we go. 8 lots of bases, well, £1 each, that's expensive, never mind. King. Off it goes. A few days later.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Yes.
You didn't order them. You ordered them singly, forgetting they were in multi-packs, did you?
Yeah. So
all right. In which case, yes, I will take some of those off your hands, just as a general mercy.
Just a question. How many's in a multi-pack?
14.
How many?
14.
Was that the bases or the sabos as well?
No, that's the bases. I only got 2 of the sabos.
Yes. Could I take a pack of bases off your hands then, if you've got?
Of course you can, mate.
Thank you, mate. What do I owe you?
I think it's all right. They're the 40mm by 20mm ones. They're perfect.
Oh, I was actually looking for 50 by 25.
Oh.
Does the standard cavalry fit on that? The standard foundry cavalry fit? All right, we'll do with the 40s by 20s then. It'll probably make them.
I'll send you a pack of them.
Go on, send us a pack, and if they don't work, I can always order some.
Yeah.
I can always order some more from Martin, like nobody ever does.
Yeah.
Where would we be without Warbases, guys?
Indeed, yes. And
cutting up cardboard.
Yeah, don't forget your horses.
Good idea, yes. We really should get them on the show sometime,
Yeah, we should.
We have
busy man.
You'll have heard him on
you didn't talk to me in that segment I haven't heard yet.
Yes, we did, actually.
Oh, good. Excellent. Right.
But it would be nice to actually get him on the show
We'd love
properly.
to get him on the show, wouldn't it?
It would do. It would do.
I do need to do a what the young kids call a shout out myself.
Go on then.
If I may, because I wasn't going, and because Westwind were doing the figure, the steampunk figure, and they were doing stats for Empire of the Dead. I did put a little note out to anybody on Twitter saying if anyone's got one that they want to sell, please let me know. And a lovely chap by the name of James Blair. Hello, James. He's a friend of the show. Or he is now.
Because he's just fed your habit.
Yeah. He has said I can have his, and he said he doesn't want any money for it, and he's posted it over to me for nothing at all.
Oh, what, James?
Because he loves the show. So, James, you can now have a year subscription to the Meeples Miniatures podcast.
At the very reasonable rate of exactly what it's always been.
Yes.
Indeed.
But you are now a chum of the show, I think. You can go.
A certified good egg.
Yes. So thank you, James. That's very kind of you.
Marvellous. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Yes, so we need to do a couple of shout-outs. Hello to Per Broden. Hi, Per. He is, podcast listener. People may recognise him because he's the guy who puts on absolutely fantastic Swedish battles at the Joy of 6 in 6mm. Friend of the show, and he got chatting to myself and Dave, and has talked us into helping him to run something at Joy of 6 this year.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I've no idea.
I think
say no fast enough.
Yeah,
we just got press ganged.
I think it was the case you turned around and said,
we got blamed. It was us.
Yeah, it was our fault. Yeah.
As it always is.
It's because apparently at some point we talked about doing 6mm Saga. And basically he turned around and said, and he blamed us for the fact that gave him the idea about doing 6mm Saga. So he's doing 6mm Saga and would like some help running the games.
I've got a new idea to put out there, Neil. Just to start it. We'll just start it. Rice Army Saga. I reckon we should put it out there. We should do it.
When is Joyous 6?
It is the 17th of July.
And where to?
It's in Sheffield. It's Sunday, the 17th of July. I can't remember the name of the venue, but especially if you go to the Baccus site, which is www.
Pushers of all things small and perfectly formed.
Indeed. Baccus.com, or you will find all the details about the Joyous 6 game there. Show there. And yes, apparently we're not going to be involved. But it was great to run into Pear. Top bloke.
Pete's site. Pete's site is generally one of the best sites to go for to find anything that's going on, to be honest. If you want to quickly find out what shows are what, because Pete goes to virtually everything, you can
the Joy of 6
quickly go on and always find out what you're looking for.
17th of July, which I assume is a Sunday because they've got an open day on the Saturday.
It is, yes. 17th of July. For those board gamers, it's the same weekend as Manacon in Leicester. But which is why we haven't been on very often previously. But
I'll be in Williamsburg anyway. So
all right, but we went a couple of years ago. And it's actually a really good show, so I heartily recommend it.
Actually, I won't. I'll be home and asleep, having landed that morning. But who cares?
Okay, fair enough.
Do you want me to come along and give you a hand?
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
As I know the rules, and you two probably can't remember them.
I was going to say,
Hopsy know the rules.
That was the first thing we did, wasn't it? We looked at each other and went, "We're going to have to play Saga.
We're going to have to play again. We have to play. We haven't played for 3 years."
Can you remember how this game works?
Go on then, Hobbsy. Come along. Help us out, please, mate.
All right.
That'd be interesting.
There you go, Per. Well, yeah, especially in the light of the conversation I'm sure we're going to have at some point in the next half an hour. But let's talk a bit more about the show before we get distracted with other things about things like I don't know what do we need bases for, what have you. We'll come back to that, shall we?
Don't have to. We can just talk about the show.
Okay, question, guys, and like your opinion. So the theme this year was steampunk. Yeah?
Was it?
Did it have a theme?
Does that answer your question?
I did see a few people wandering around with steampunk gear, but I didn't really realise that.
Yeah, possibly not in a position to comment since I was basically going for very specific stalls when I wasn't on Rubens, but you could have fooled me.
But I didn't think there was any more steampunk people there this year than there is any on normal year, to be honest.
Yeah. And certainly there's confusion in some quarters between steampunk and Victorian science fiction, which depending on how hardcore your steampunk fan is, some people would take exception to Victorian science fiction being called steampunk. However,
it's probably one of those places it's better not to go in the interest of not getting roundly abused by people who actually care.
However, indeed, yes, considering. Normally, you get, you get at least like a huge game of whatever the theme is. Basically, reaction is, as I say, steampunk. You could have fooled us. Obviously, other than as we've already mentioned, the extremely nice free figure, which is gorgeous.
Is it painted yet?
Moving on.
It's like. Yes. You know the answer before you asked it, so don't worry about that. Yes. So it is very, very. Actually, at this point, I'm suddenly thinking, where would I put it?
It's probably along with those Tomahawk figures. You don't know where they are.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, it was.
Yeah, you could have fooled me.
Yeah. No, that was my thought, which was
the other interesting thing was that I don't think. I mean, admittedly, I was pretty much walking with a purpose between traders, but I did cover the entirety of the hall, given that Redoubt were on one end wall and Annie was on the other. I don't think there was a single game that caused me to stop and go, holy shit.
We said that on the way back, didn't we, Neil?
We did. I mean, I think...
There was a very nice peninsula table, which I think I mostly spotted because I was interested in it.
Apparently that one won the best... I believe that one actually won Best in Show.
Good, I'm glad
it was 40 mil based on Sharp's Enemy, and was actually absolutely cracking.
It did look very nice, but that I think I'm not meaning to denigrate them, but I'd have noticed that anyway because it's what I was looking for, interested in around the show. But other than that, there was very little that caused me to go, wow.
There was a very good. I'm just trying to remember who put it on. There was a very, and it's actually on my website. There was a very good 7 Years War game, but it was interesting because it was a game. It was a game that half the table was the battle, and then the other half was or a third was like the city just where the battle was taking place.
Look, pretty scenery.
It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. It was done by Bill Gaskin and friends, and that was again gorgeous. 7 Years War, really really nice. Oh, just shout out the Shark game was put on by Ian Smith and friends. It was the Battle of Adridos. But that was lovely, and so apparently I believe that one best in show.
It was, and also it had that nice little advantage, which actually really does help, of being that little bit bigger, that little bit more visual, because it was 40 mil. If you remember the Victrix 54 skirmish from a couple of years ago, which was also very, very grabby, attention.
There was one there. There was a Victrix. No, I mean, I missed it, but
I missed it as well.
I've seen some pictures. There was actually a Victrix 54 mil Napoleonic game there, but I missed it completely. And interestingly, because I was asking the guys from Ian Smith's guys where they got all their figures from, because I recognised most of them. They were basically Sash and Sabre and Perry and a couple of the bits and pieces. But I did happen to notice that they had a 40 mil Sharp and Harper, which are a couple of old castings, and I said, "Oh, have you had all these?" I meant to ask the question because it was like, I was going to ask, "Have you had a whole lot of these for ages?" Because there was just this thought that actually, I sold a Sharp and Harper in actually those figures I sold last year. I was actually just wondering if they were actually my because you've not been able to get a hold of them for a long time.
Yeah, it's like the Alban 28s. They're quite rare.
Yeah, so
particularly because the Alban 28s I've got are the ones that were the giveaway with Sharp Practice 1, not the ones they've been selling on their website.
Ah, yes,
which are even harder to come by.
So, if there's anybody who was at the game for for me and Smith and does happen to listen to this show, I would be very interested to know if that Sharp and Harper were bought off eBay last year. Because if so, they could actually have been my figures.
Oh, bless.
But there you go. Yeah, there was a big the Crew Nantwich Club did a big Siege of Bristol, English Civil War, which was quite visually impressive. And then Loughton Strike Force did actually it was a big chain of command game. The Russo-Finnish War. And they had loads of things. They had loads of like BT7s and T26s and a T28, and it was a Russian armoured assault across a lake. They even had one bit where they modelled the fact that one of the tanks had broken through the ice and was constantly sinking and stuff like this. It was a really cool looking table. Not that many. I mean, there's a couple of things you kind of think you saw and kind of went, what? Like like Spartan doing a scale model of the Long Night of Solace, scaled for Halo Fleet battles.
Well, we saw that being made.
Wow.
Pardon?
We saw that being made.
What, Long Night of Solace? Did we?
Yeah. Well, I did.
Mind you, you've been down there since, haven't you?
No, it was when when we were down. Oh no, it might be the second time. Sorry.
Yes.
I've seen that being made.
I saw that being. Yeah. It's huge.
I thought it was a surfboard when I saw it being made.
Yes, that was a classic of why. Yes, I think the conversation. Well, I mean, you just heard the conversation, but I think it was all along the lines of 343 bet we couldn't do it, so we decided to. But yes, I mean, yeah. Say, what did people? I mean, generally, what did people think of the game? Think of games this year?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean,
yeah. Well, you're the one that's meant to be. You're the one that's meant to be asking these questions. Then.
Thank you, Captain Predictable.
Well, I would, but it's difficult trying to get you to shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Well, shut up. Shall we ask that again then?
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the games? Was the standard higher?
I say I'm slightly less qualified, only slightly more qualified than you are to comment. I think I'm saying. The couple that I stopped by and looked at briefly were a combination. The Peninsula one was very, very nice indeed. There were a lot of things that I looked at and went, yeah, fine. Couldn't you have made a bit more effort? You know, there are a couple you sort of walked past and thought, yeah, okay, so it's a game. It doesn't look like they produced a game for Salute, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because normally there's one or two big games produced, you know, specifically for Salute, and they're usually the big standout ones, and usually the ones that follow the theme. Was there any of those?
I didn't see many, but then
I don't remember seeing one.
No.
I really, yeah. I mean, you thought, you know, is it a War of the Worlds one? I know. I think I saw in the program that I think a club did a couple of all quite on the Martian front, and they basically did two tables. One was like the first Martian invasion, and the second was the second Martian invasion.
Mm.
But no, nothing really springs to mind. The guys from Wolfsung put on a nice little table of all their scenery, but again, that was like 3 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, isn't it? When you have a theme for a Wargames show, is how do you bring that theme out, especially when it's the size of Salute? I've always found their idea of having a theme a bit ridiculous because it never really comes across. It's just Salute. It's just loads and loads of traders and usually some very, very pretty games covering the whole spectrum of the hobby.
Yeah, I think my major feeling is that it didn't feel like overly many people had pulled the stops out. And indeed, quite a few of the people who I would know and trust to pull the stops out weren't there.
But and the other thing that was noticeable is that there was two things I thought. And Luffy, you're being very quiet at the moment.
Well, I can't get no word in edgeways, to be honest.
Oh, shut up then.
That's 2 strikes, Neil. Go on, Dave.
Okay, let's cue this up. Okay, now, so obviously, myself and Dave were spending most of our day wandering around. And Dave, I don't know what you thought about this, but okay, my 2 pennies worth. Historical games were in the large minority.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't remember seeing a large Ancients game. And you always get normally...
You were, but Rob from War and Conquest was there. He was running a big game.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, and somebody was running Agincourt, weren't they? But, yes, Rob was running a game.
Was Simon there? Simon Miller?
He was there as a punter. He had not been invited to bring a game.
And he left by 2 o'clock because I said goodbye to him.
Ditto James Morris.
Like those are 2 people who will put on large, spectacular games.
And
you've got to ask why weren't they
and
doing that?
James Morris and Scrivs had been working on, I mean, I saw the game that they were doing.
They had it at Hammerhead and it was very nice.
They had him, yeah, and it was only in its start phase at Hammerhead. But
as ever, stunningly innovative like they always are.
Yeah, it's basically the battle. It's Battle of Verdun, but it's the battle in the castle.
Oh,
and the tunnels underneath.
Oh.
And that's what they're doing. And it was impressive, and they'd only just started it when they did it at Hammerhead.
As I understand it, they were, quote, on the waiting list, end quote.
These are people who consistently win Best of Show.
Well, I think James actually said that in the last 3 years they've won Best Painted Game twice.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened in the background. It sort of sounds like there were more traders there than there were participation games. So has the balance shifted? Because Salute was always sort of 50-50, wasn't it? You have 50% traders, and then you have a massive area for all the participation games, and you have everyone there, and they're all big games. Has it moved over now so that there was more traders?
There was an awful lot of small demo games this year. Lots of, as a lot of people do, but it's like, there was a bigger majority, I thought, this year.
That's never a bad thing. I mean, I like having demo games, especially if they're by the people who produce the product, because you give you a chance to try out a game, and then if you like, you can go and buy it. So that's always good. But
there were a lot more than this year. It seemed to me.
And a lot of them were very much, let's put up a table and demonstrate our game. It didn't seem to me, and I may be doing people injustice here, it didn't seem to me that a lot of them had gone to the, let's produce a demo game that just looks visually stunning, even on 3x3.
That's interesting. What was the Spartan site like? Because they normally, I mean, they were only there last year, but they put all the stops in it last year. Did he do the same this year?
They had, the table they produced for Halo Grand Command was really nice. It was well sculpted, and it almost had like a bit of a sand table vibe to it, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah, definitely.
So that was good, and they had an awful lot of demo games, because obviously they got quite a few different stuff. So they had lots of tables. The Halo Fleet battles that I saw was pretty much a static display because of Long Night of Solace, and then they had lots of people demoing, Planetfall and the new versions of Dystopian Wars and Armada and what have you. And again, the other thing is, it was noticeable that, as far as I say, demo games, vast majority were fantasy or sci-fi, or at least it seemed to me. Again, very predominantly, lots of smaller skirmish games.
But that's sort of indicative of what's going on in the industry, isn't it?
Well, quite interestingly enough, we
discussed that, didn't we?
What did we say, Dave?
On the way back, we discussed that, didn't we? Saying how the industry's going with that, where it seems that everything's going sort of a lot of skirmish games, 28mm skirmish games.
Yeah, but even that's, I think the issue is that a lot of it is going 28mm skirmish games designed not to need a 6x4 table. It's more than just skirmish games. I mean, Sharp Practice is skirmish, but the general assumption is A, you play 6x4, and B, it's slightly bigger than the average skirmish game. It's the gang-based skirmish games where you're looking at, what Hobbsy calls RPG Light, where you're looking at 10 figures, 3x3 and 10 figures aside. Frostgrave.
Yes. Yeah. And it is prevalent that appears to be the way things are going. Yeah, and you see, I don't wish to do anybody a disservice, but at times you're kind of thinking, here is yet another range of sci-fi troopers. Here is yet another space combat game. Some of it, sometimes I think, is seeing where people, or trying to identify where people fit into what is becoming quite a crowded marketplace. For particular games, and finding that niche. But there does seem to be there's lots of boxed war games out there. I mean, some things look really interesting. I mean, the first interview that we did was with a company that it was Arcworlde, and what they did was brilliant. They got this little box set called was it Battle for Trollbridge?
Yeah, that was nice. That was, wasn't it? There's some nice minis in it.
Yeah, it got some nice minis, but the thing that caught my eye, first and foremost, is the scenery. What was he based on, Dave?
He had like an old mirror, hadn't he? He picked it up from a charity shop. That's what he told us. I mean, I spotted it straight away. It was a nice bit of upcycling in the wargame world.
So you use that as the basis and put a river on it. So he actually used the material, to help make the river, and then basically built it all into the frame. I was gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, really, really nice. But it was like basically 2 foot by 18 inches sort of thing. But yeah, lovely little display.
That sounds like what Stu from Great Escape Games did a few years back for Dead Man's Hand, where he used that little crafts kit table.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
And basically built the little village in there.
Yeah.
Or the little town. And
Now that is proof that you can do a stunning table in 3x3.
Yes.
Because that Dead Man's Hand table of Stu's never failed to draw attention.
No.
And now, admittedly, thank you, Foreground, but you still got to put the stuff on the table and make it blend in together, and he did a cracking job.
Yeah. And their new stuff for the Chicago Way looks very, very nice. Again, they had a table out demo in Chicago Way, which was launched.
Yeah, has anyone ever sniffed that at all?
Yeah, I stayed away from there, mostly because I'd have wound up with a French city rather than a French town, which I already have in 15 mil.
I do happen to have the rules.
Why am I not surprised?
Because it's one of the things he gets paid to do.
It's review copy only.
It was. So thank you to Stu. And I have a confession to make. I haven't opened them. I haven't even got that far. And it's like 4 days afterwards. It's like, what? Yeah, call yourself. I've been busy. But yes, I need to go through those. So they'll be reviewed for the next miniature war games, and also we're gonna have Stu on to talk all about it anyway. So I had a chat with Stu and said, yeah, come on and tell us all about Chicago Way. As opposed to just the teasers he gave when they were talking to us about Iron Cross. So, but yeah, it was. There was a couple of relatively large World War II games that were. Showcasing bolt action. There was one that was for Iron Cross. There was quite a large Vietnam game.
That was right near the entrance. It was massive, wasn't it?
It was. It had to be. It was closer to like an 18-foot table. I think it was.
Yeah.
Which had like a big Vietnam. It had a river running through it and stuff and what have you. But yeah, there
wasn't a lot to shout about, was there?
Mm.
No, as I say, other than what we've highlighted already, I think now apologies if we've missed an odd little gem. But yeah. A lot of it was, oh yeah, there's a game of this. Oh yeah, there's a game of that.
If you think we missed your little gem, please bring it to Hereward.
There appear to be some interesting fun things. I completely missed Formula Minion, which apparently won best participation game for the.
It's the RAF. It's the RAF guys. It's brilliant. It's what you expect from them. They're just mad.
Yeah.
C Sharp's Waterloo.
Yeah, we got to play when they kind of did the demo play for it. They did it at the other Partisan last year, and Josh got to play it, and it was completely crazy. And they've upgraded the table and everything since then. But that will be doing the show rounds this year.
You'll very likely see it at Hereward.
Well worth a look. Bumped into them later in the day when they were wandering around to the traders and showing the trophy off, saying thank you very much. But that was good. And considering it's a show like Salute, normally you can just go from table to table to table to table, going wow, 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 wow. And
the other thing you can do is you wander from table to table to table, going wow, 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 and not having to ask what's this, because people make the effort of doing pull-up banners and fly. There were quite a lot of games that I sort of passed briefly going, wonder what that was.
It sounds like they're going through a bit of a transition. I mean, I kind of get the idea of having demo games. And I do like to be able to play a demo game, that sort of works for me. But I think there is still a place for the bigger sort of club games. You know, especially participation games you can get in, like yours last year, Mike, the Dambusters game. You know, stuff like that. I think there's always a place for. And it sounds, from what you're saying, that didn't really come to the fore. And I kind of wonder with the steampunk theme, there's no real rules out there, or even almost like a figure range that you can do a big set piece game for. You can do some brilliant, 3x3, 4x4 games, sort of Smoky London, because most of the steampunk rules out there are for small skirmish games. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe they just didn't think it through, or maybe they're just trying to go for a different tact and they haven't quite pulled it off.
I think more than any other year, this year felt like a trade show.
Yeah, it did a bit.
Mm.
I mind you, there's a degree to which I'm not complaining, in that I suspect there's a few things I wouldn't have picked up otherwise. But the one thing that was noticeable was there were a lot of traders that I would not otherwise have seen. But conversely, there were still people there not there. I mean, to pull out one random example, Saxon Miniatures.
Dave, what do you think?
As in, overall, what the show was like?
As somebody who is, perhaps comes at these things from a slightly different direction.
Comes from a different direction. It felt, I think what Mike's already said, it just felt like a big shopping expedition rather than anything else. That's how it came across to me. I think you've all really said the truth. I mean, it was just...
in which case, Dave, you don't get any marks for taking advantage of it.
Well, yeah, there just wasn't anything I particularly fancied to buy. There was nothing that I just suddenly went, ooh, or, whether that be something to buy or whether that be something just to look at and go, oh, that's an interesting take. This club's done this. That's quite interesting. There was nothing new as far as I could see.
Which leads to another question then for I guess Neil, Dave and me, since obviously he wasn't there. What, if anything, did you see that will inspire you to do something in the future?
Oh, good question, Mike.
And actually, that was it.
Yeah, I don't think there was.
Nothing. Wow.
Not. I mean,
in previous years, we've come away, haven't we, full of beans, thinking, oh, we could do this and we could do that, and did you see that? We can nick that to use for this and that, so forth. But the conversation on the way back was quite quiet, wasn't it? Really,
it was. I mean, of anything, we had a giggle on this, and this will lead on to something else, because we've been discussing stuff, and we ended up interviewing Pete, as you've heard, we interviewed Pete Berry, and he turned around and said, with the fact that they're revisiting their 7 years war range.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they said, oh, by the way, we're doing French-Indian War in 6mm.
Yeah,
we kind of went, really? Oh.
That was the only thing that made us go, ooh, wasn't it?
Oh, I had one above and beyond the feeding frenzy. I don't know if you noticed, but Warworld Scenics have started doing terrain packs for Warlord.
Right, okay.
And they've, among the many they've brought out is I think they call it the Blasted Winter terrain pack, which includes a bunch of shell-damaged tree trunks, some shell scrapes, and a whole bunch of snow and melted snow, flock and stuff. And that and wandering around Foundry did leave me thinking that when I get bored of the peninsula, the idea of a whole bunch of French in greatcoats on the way back from Moscow for a sharp practice skirmish might be quite interesting.
Or especially with the Perry's.
Yes.
Yes.
Or even the Foundry's one. They've got some lovely figures in campaign gear and greatcoats.
Yeah, but
was that the page you almost had an accident on?
Yeah,
on
that was the page I almost had an accident. Well, no, I looked at it and went, that buy this page link is very, very dangerous, and I'm not going to.
That's a classic idea. I will give Foundry.
Yeah, particularly since that particular page would have just about made a sharp practice force. Except for the fact it was a little bit short on cavalry and a little bit up on extra infantry. But the idea of a nice snowy table with Cossacks and French and Russian infantry in greatcoats just
it'd be nice.
It would look classy.
Yeah, especially the Perrys. They've done the snow carts, haven't they? Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Perrys have done a whole retreat from Moscow range, and you've got like these senior officers in snow carts with a couple of horses dragging them down, and people pushing them the back in sort of tattered uniforms.
Oh my! So they have.
Yes.
Oh, they have a bit, haven't they? Oh, those are a bit tasty.
Danger Wargames porn.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember looking at them thinking, thank God no one has done a set of rules that I could use them in. And then...
Oh, dear.
Damn you, Richard Clark. Although I am thinking about doing Canada, doing some of the battles in Canada during the winter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just an excuse to get some snowy, flocky stuff out.
There's an awful lot of figure packs in that collection.
Yeah.
195!
Yeah. We'll see you in about a week, Mike.
Yeah. Bye. Yes. As Mike disappears off onto www.perryminiatures.com. Yeah.
Right there with you. Annoyingly, they're all done in bloody well 6s, not 8s.
You have to buy 3 packs. Oh dear.
4 packs now.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, okay. Yes, 4 packs.
Actually, you buy a command pack and a non-command pack, and that's probably enough to make an 8 and some extra leaders and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, we digress.
We digress. Couple of bits of scenery. Bendy Boards. Bendy Boards were there.
Yeah, nice.
They were right opposite us. I had a quick peek. They look quite fun.
Very nice chaps.
Yes. Couple of nice blokes, and got some interesting stuff.
So what do they do, Dave?
Oh, crikey! What do they do?
Apart from Bendy Boards.
Except they don't.
They don't do bendy boards. That's the whole crux of the matter now. Bendy boards started, didn't they? They used to make war games for mortals, as I'd like to say. So you could fold them away and keep them out of the way. They were like hinged in the middle, instead of using paste tables and things like that. And how many were there out there, Neil?
There's 90 odd, isn't there? There's 90 odd than that.
Yeah, and really, in the end, he was saying it took him about a day to make them, and he sort of just started doing them, didn't he? I think it was just like for friends and et cetera, and then one thing led to another, as these things do. And then he sort of started doing the bendy boards in more than just a friends thing, but then a mate of his got on board, didn't he? And they started doing other MDF stuff, didn't they? And they do a really nice dungeon set, don't they? Which is sort of modular for 28mm. I think it's aimed at what's his name, isn't it? Frostgrave, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Frostgrave or any actually sort of like dungeon bashy sort of game. But they do have things like they've actually got things where they've got like real moving secret walls and stuff like that, and some nice little bits of pieces, and that bit that they're just starting to do. Was it they got 4? They had 4 ranges on display, didn't they? There was that. There was the Frostgrave one.
They had the what did they have? They had the Trumpton Town set, as we called it.
Oh, Trumpton Town set, absolutely super. It was Victorian science fiction, okay, or Victorian set. So it was like a little terrace. So it was like 3 buildings in the terrace, and then there was some gated walls, and then there was the clock, and it looked just like the Trumpton clock, and a bandstand.
And the bandstand, yeah.
And a bandstand. It was like absolutely superb.
Yeah, was good.
Yeah. And yeah,
the Western set, wasn't there?
Western set, that was it. Western set. Yeah, there was a Western set and stuff. And
the Western set was nice. I quite liked that. It's quite tidy, I thought.
And I mean, and the turn around saying, yeah, we're aiming this at kind of mid-level. So it's not a foreground. It's kind of next level down sort of thing. But they tend to use a lot of grey board for relief as opposed to using etched detail.
Sarissa do that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can pop that on, you can buy it and pop it on where you want then, which is quite nice.
But they were good, and then we had a good chat with, as you heard, we had a good chat with Renedra and their castle.
Yeah, wow, he was an interesting chap, wasn't he? He really was. I didn't think he was going to be up for the interview to start with, and all of a sudden he got well into it, didn't he? He was away. Terry wasn't his name, was
Terry? Yeah, and so when we first talked to him, we said, "Can we give you an interview?" He was like, "Oh, I don't know about that." I was like, oh, "Go on, yeah." I said, "Well, what do I say?" He said, "Well, just tell us what you just told us." And he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and the castle is really nice.
Yeah,
really, very nice.
I mean, it's a lot of money. Let's not pretend it isn't, but it is good value for money. I think if you want that big castle, you're getting a lot of bangs for your buck, really.
And I was just thinking, even if you want to do a little castle wall, I mean, I know we talked about this on the last show, but if you want to do a castle wall across one corner and just want to say 2 or 3 towers and 2 or 3 wall sections, okay, that's still going to cost you over £100, but it's probably nice.
I have heard it's pretty good.
It is lovely. It is,
and you can buy a module as well, so you can just buy a bit of time, can't you? You
can buy a tower or a couple of walls. And they were, and they had a bit they were working on there. Basically, they took one of the wall sections, broke it, and then started playing around with filler to make a ruined wall section. It looked really cool.
That'd be useful.
Looking around, other than the bits of economy, all that looks nice. All that looks quite nice. For the couple of big display games. Other than that, and. I almost posted this on my bit of I just did a little blog with just some of the photos that caught my eye, and I almost posted this one photo because I looked at it and went, in 5 seconds it's like Spot the Game, and it was like again it must have been something like probably a 3. It might have been bigger than 3x4, but it looked a bit like a 3x4 table. And on either side, 3x4 table, and you had like 10 or 15 tanks aside. It's like, Spot the Game. It was Team Yankee.
Wall-to-wall trucks, lorries,
tanks.
I'll get the right words out in a minute.
Wall-to-wall
lorries. I got a thing about lorries on my mind. Sure, Opel Blitz. That's what it is. Your lovely painted Opel Blitz.
My lovely painted Opel Blitz. It's wall-to-wall T72s.
Yeah.
And stuff. And
there was no flanks. Other flanks are available.
I'll tell you one. Tell you one thing we saw, which I can't remember, other than kind of mentioning it in passing. Mr. Cooper showed us some stuff. And we looked at it and kind of went, oh my word. Forged in Battle are doing Pacific Theatre.
Oh.
And he had some painted samples of that Ruben had painted, of Japanese infantry and US Marines.
Felt not worthy.
Oh my word.
Serious bit of brush envy going on there, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. But they are gorgeous. So Pacific War is coming in 15mm, and it was like, oh, that looks nice.
That could be good for Chain of Command.
Yeah, seriously good. So now that they're kind of, apparently apparently they're doing, they got loads more stuff to come out for Desert War. They're doing Italians for Desert War.
Oh.
They're going to do Italians, and then they got Pacific Theatre.
Pacific Theatre could definitely attract me for Chain of Command.
Oh yeah, that I'll say they only had about about a dozen painted figures, was it, Dave?
Yeah, something like that.
But even so, it was like, oh, they're nice.
Very nice.
Had a fantastic Japanese officer. I mean, it was almost a classic Airfix pose.
Yeah.
The classic Japanese officer.
Yeah. I know exactly the one you mean.
Yeah, it was almost that pose, but it was. Oh. So I suppose there were a couple of bits I kind of went, oh, they're nice, and I'd like to do that, but nothing that I immediately want to say, I want to go out and buy that now. I mean, interestingly, and I even came away and suddenly went, so why didn't I buy Age of the Wolf? It's Saga. Why didn't I buy it? And I suddenly thought,
because we don't play it much at the moment.
Took the words right out of my mouth, and I thought, it's not me.
Oh dear, sorry, this is my influence.
Where did that come from?
This is me. It's all my fault.
Luffy, you're a bad influence.
Something like that. It seems that way. Logic is beginning to prevail on him.
I suddenly thought, it was like, well, we're not playing it at the moment, so I'll get it when we play it. And it's like, what?
I pre-ordered it, and they'd said, I think Hobbsy will attest, they'd said pre-order because we may sell out. But Cole from the club went and picked his up around midday, and there's still plenty left.
Mm.
My one comment on it is I think the print quality is a bit flimsy.
The what, sorry?
Paper quality is a bit flimsy.
Really?
It's maximum 120 GSM glossy, if that, and the pages really do feel a bit thin. But I think that's true for quite a lot of the Saga rule books. They've not gone for the thickest paper for the colour, glossy colour.
Oh right, I seem to remember they were pretty good. Maybe they've just changed it slightly. But walking away from you went, I was terribly sensible this year.
That's all right, guys. I made up for it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I think you're kind of getting from this that, obviously, from you not being there, and again, I mean, it's really interesting seeing some of the reaction on social media. I mean, other than the usual not love that Excel gets for being the Excel Centre, it's a convention centre. It's got concrete floors. You have to make sure you've got sensible footwear that will cope with it all day, or what have you. You're not going to get another venue in London that will cope with that sort of size. Of any different quality, I would say.
Yeah. Sounds like it was a bit flat.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was it. It was. What do you think? That I mean, Dave, was that you think our prevailing thought on the way home? It was like, yeah, okay, done that.
Well, yeah, I think that's what I've already said about it. I was a bit underwhelmed, really.
And the thought crossed my mind was if I hadn't been, for want of a better phrase, working, what would I have thought of it? I mean, there was no doubt about it that from a media point of view, it's where everybody is. And generally, you can wander around and get hold of most people. And thank you to everybody who stopped and gave us time.
Well, we got some really good interviews this year. I mean, compared some years, people who just haven't been able to give us interviews, and not for no fault of their own. But I mean, Pete Berry, we got an interview with him, and normally Pete's too busy, isn't he, to be able to help us? But I mean, he was saying that the show was good. He was, he's been busy. But we got lucky with quite a few interviews.
Yeah, and this year, I mean, we tried to make sure that it was kind of look, we'll just take 5 minutes, 5 minutes or so of your time.
A soundbite, didn't we? We said.
Yeah, and obviously we just talked to people until they said, okay, I've got to go and do something else. But people were generous with the time, and there was other people who were very generous with their time. Hello, Neil. That was Neil, as ever, was brilliant to talk to, as you've heard, and by far the longest interview you got on the day. But it was really good. And other than that, and getting to see people, if it wasn't for that, actually looking back, is it a show that I'd turn around and say I must go there again? And especially this year, I think the answer would be maybe not. I mean, everybody says, I mean, it's right, you've got the issue of the cost of getting to the show. Okay, pre-order. Get your ticket up front, and £12. Okay, it's double the cost of anything, of pretty much anything else that's out there this year. And let's face it, at half the ticket, at half that price, a show like Triples, for example, got slammed this year for producing a ticket half that price. But
bear in mind that Triples also has the most expensive trade stalls outside of Salute, just about, which is, I assume, why they justify that price.
So you got that. You've obviously got it's a flat rate £15 parking if you're using your car, or the other expense of getting to the capital. And of course, it's London, so if you're doing anything other than carting your own food around, it's expensive. Staying over is expensive.
Yeah, I paid £20 for 4 cups of tea and 3 sandwiches.
So there's that side to consider. So it is not a cheap day out, even before you start buying bags and bags of miniatures, Mr. Whitaker.
In fact, the bags of miniatures were cheaper than they would have been anywhere else, probably.
And of course, there is that.
This being Salute. But
yeah,
the point about a show like Salute is it's one of the few places where you can reasonably guarantee that the things you want to buy will be there to look at before you buy them. And part of my reason for spending what I did at the show was that I could, for example, look at the Foundry British, the Offensive Miniatures 95th, and go, are those suitably proportioned to go with my Alban Miniatures 95th, which you can't do very easily with photos on a website.
That is true.
And it is one of the few shows where those two companies will be guaranteed to be side by side or within suitable walking distance
for very large values of side by side.
And of course, the other thing, this is something that again we had a conversation with on the way home, was there are people that will have saved up their entire gaming budget for Salute, and if you're doing that, you will save yourself a shed load in postage.
Yeah, but who's organised that?
Well, we saw on Twitter, didn't we? There are some people that seem to do it. It seems to be a bit of a hobby thing for them, isn't it? It's part of the hobby. They just do that and blow the lot. I suppose you can tell the missus you're only buying one lot of stuff, can't you? You just leave it in the boot. Don't tell her how much it is as you're smuggling it in the car, into the house from the car for the rest of the week.
Mike does courses on that, by the way.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah, he's not very good at them.
Smuggling for wargamers.
Yeah.
Overall, is my technical term.
Oh well.
Guys, would you agree with that?
I think no.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, I'd agree with it. I mean, I've already been thinking, would I really want to? Am I interested in going next year? It was that, that's my thought pattern about it at the moment.
Unfortunately, Dave, you are contractually obliged.
Oh, that's it. You've done it now. That's it. It'll be off the show by the end of the year now. Don't make me get a salute. Yeah. That'll be the next complaint next year. Don't make me drive any more roads.
They made me go.
Yeah. Oh well.
So I think we've done that to death, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Salute 2016 and rather protracted thoughts on it. Again, we'd be interested to know your thoughts. I know lots of people have been sharing stuff on their blogs. If there's anything that is said that you violently disagree with, or stuff that you or observations that you want to make, then please feel free to post them on the comments. And it's just something we can come back to. One question before we went. Dave Blood. Hello, Dave. One of our long-time listener from the colonies.
From the colonies. How to win friends and influence people.
Indeed. Sorry, I was thinking Wittertainment for a minute, and the thought of colonial commoner sprung to mind, but I'll go away from that. People who listen to that show will know what I mean. Anyway, he asked the question, Salute looks brilliant. Why is it only one day?
Mm.
Yeah.
That was my other observation, was that if you are actively doing anything absolute, be it running a game, running a stall, running interviews for podcast, you don't have time to do the whole show.
No.
And having talked to people who've run other events at Excel, you can't afford to make Salute 2 days. Excel is ridiculously expensive to hire because it's London's premier conferencing venue.
But the parking's good value.
Well, put it this way. If you went for the weekend, it would still only cost you £15.
I think the parking was better. The parking's actually cheaper there than it is in Leicester.
to park for the day. To park for the day at the Excel Centre is definitely on a par with parking in the middle of Leicester at the moment.
But
have they changed that? Because I normally go for the weekend, and parking usually costs me about 40 or 50 quid.
It was on our ticket we got, didn't we, Neil? It was 15 quid, and we didn't have to leave till Monday morning or something, did we?
Yeah. And that was purchased Saturday morning, and we didn't have to leave, and we didn't have to be out there until
just gone 5, wasn't it, on the Monday?
On the Monday,
yeah.
Oh, they changed it then because, we usually get there on the Friday, so you end up paying the 15 quid for the Friday, and then you've got to put your ticket in. You got to renew your ticket like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Otherwise, you get a massive amount of penalty fines. And then you've got to buy another ticket to do you the Saturday.
People are obviously thinking of like game conventions, and they said, there have been lots of comments from non-English people looking at the show, going, "That looks absolutely fantastic, and we'd like to be there, but it's like don't understand why it only runs for one day." So, and I think it basically boils down to economics, doesn't it? Because otherwise, I think you'd be in a situation where the economics of running a show for 2 days. With it's not just the hiring of a stall for 2 days, but it's all the periphery of stopping in London for 2 days. Mm. Most traders would probably end up making a loss.
Yeah, it's a really, really tricky one, and also having it as a 1 day event, it does limit the size of Salute because at the moment, didn't you work it out last year, Mike, that you had something like 90 seconds per stall?
Something stupid like that.
Yeah, so if you want to go to every single stall and look at every single game, you had 90 seconds. Between 10 and 4. So if it gets any bigger, you literally won't be able to walk around it in 1 day.
I am pretty sure I missed something like 30% of the show. And that was with the intention of going up and down every aisle. I am pretty sure there were traders I knew who were there, which I never saw. There were interviews I wanted to grab, which I never did. With people, and this is having a plan in mind of what you're doing. And you just run out of time. And so it will be interesting this year, especially comparing it to UK Games Expo. UK Games Expo is on in 6 weeks? I think it is. First weekend in June this year, and this year that's changing up because the trade hall is moving into one of the main halls of the NEC. Because it takes place normally in the Metropole Hilton, which is next door to the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, which is actually one of the biggest exhibition centres outside of the ExCeL and outside of London. Hence why it was the National Exhibition Centre. But they've actually moved their trade hall into the NEC this year. And it will be really interesting to see how that compares. Because as far as football is concerned, of all the shows in the UK Games Expo is the one that is most like a US Games convention. And people go there not only to purchase but to play games, and there are games running all weekend. There are championships. There's loads of RPG stuff, and it is a weekend to go and play games. This year it's running 3 days. It's running Friday to Sunday, and all the trading is going to be in the NEC. And I believe last year they ended up with something, I think their footfall last year was something just over 25,000, something like that, which is something like 3 or 4 times the size of Salute, but over the space of 2 or 3 days. So it will be really interesting to see this year how it compares.
For what it's worth, and very approximately, if you stayed in Salute all day, you had 3 minutes per trader if you didn't look at any of the games.
Well, there you go.
It's a show that's crying out in some ways to be 2 days, isn't it? Because it's just too big. But then
you never do it.
But
Excel is far too expensive to ever do that.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I mean, we're not getting involved with the monetary side of things. We're just saying the reality of what the show's like.
Oh well.
So from some people's point of view, it will be, unfortunately, it's never likely to happen.
Right.
But as far as a one day thing is concerned, yeah. But it really is, more than anything else, it's one day go and shop.
Yeah, and find whoever designed the floor plan and kill him. It took me half an hour to realise that, despite the fact that given the orientation of the floor plan, that the columns are lettered A to M, right to left.
Oh, as opposed to left to right.
Yeah, because I had a mental note. Annie is in TA, so I'll go down the far left-hand end, and there Annie will be. Wrong.
It's the other way round. It's right to left. From
right to left, bottom to top.
Yeah, from stage.
Whatever.
What's the phrase? Think stage rather than front of house.
Yeah, I suppose so. But that threw me for about because I came in as a trader. I didn't pick up a carrier, so I didn't have a floor plan other than the one on my phone. And I'd started out with a mental list of stall letters and numbers I need to go visit, and hadn't bothered for a register that that I'd got myself turned around.
Oops.
Indeed. So yes, Salute done for another year. I mean, as I say, there's been very, very mixed comments on social media about it. Some people loved it, some people maybe not so much. And obviously you've heard our own particular experiences. So it will be interesting to see what happens next year. So once again, folks, thanks for listening. It's been great to chat, and we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks or so. Until then, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Team.
The old ones are definitely the oldest.
Yeah, they should know.
And happy gaming, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, folks.
Obrigado. That's Portuguese, that is, for thank you.
Obrigado?
Obrigado. That's what you say at the bar when they give you a drink.
Oh, right, okay.
Thank you for listening to the Meeples and Miniatures podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, why not share it with others by leaving us a review on iTunes? And if you have any comments or questions, you can always email the show. The address is info@meeplesandminiatures.co.uk. And you can also visit our webpage, where you'll find a complete episode archive, all the View from the Veranda podcasts, rules reviews, and our blog of hobby items and news, which is updated several times a week. This is also where you'll find the links to our presence on social media, and here you can follow us on Twitter or join our Facebook group. And finally, here you can also find details should you wish to support us by making a donation to the podcast. All this on the Meeples and Miniatures website, www.meeplesandminiatures.co.uk. The Meeples and Miniatures podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.